Okay, so we're about to go live with Bobby, and I need her to jump in here, and then we can start chatting. So what we're gonna talk about is magic, being women, the stuff that I always talk about. And specifically, I want to discuss past lives. We're going to be talking about past lives today, and Bobby is a tarot reader and also speaks to spirits and has done seances with the ghosts in Wilmington. And so as soon as she hops in, we're going to get this conversation rolling. Yes, morning coffee top before therapy. That's what I'm talking about. The morning show. Welcome to the morning show. Oh my God. So Bobbi Stout is essentially a medium is how I would probably describe her. I don't know if she would say the same thing about herself. But we're going to talk about magic. We're going to talk about being women. We're going to talk about smashing the patriarchy. We're going to talk about, our lives and our experiences and our stories. And if you guys have anything that you want to add to the conversation, please feel free. I want to hear from everybody. We'll see. This is our first time doing this. And, yeah, of course. Of course. And for free. Let's be clear. It's got to be for free or else I'm not buying. Because I'm so sick of ads. I'm so sick of sponsorships. I'm so sick of money being shoved down my throat. I don't want it and I'm not buying. So y'all can suck it. Y'all can't buy this pussy. Y'all can't buy this pussy. I can sell it. Oh, I can sell it. Y'all can't buy it. No. No. Okay, so she is of a certain age. I love you so much, Bobby. And she doesn't really know how Instagram works. So next time, I'll probably have a conversation, and I might even delete this, honestly. I might have to get rid of this if she doesn't come in and can't figure it out. Yeah. Come on, girl. I know you can do it. It's that time. She missed it last week. She thought it was the day before and didn't contact me for any reason. Now that's frustrating. Why didn't you message me? We do. We totally do. Come on, girl. Get in here. Oh my God, it's happening. Yes. Come on. Get in here. Come on, Mercury. Come on, CIA, FBI agents that are fucking with my videos all the time. Get in here, girl. Get in here.
I normally sit in the morning, don't have a lot to do. And of course, when I have something planned, I'm getting bombarded. So I was like, shit, I gotta get off.
I was like, uh-oh, is this gonna work? We got it.
Yeah, I may be Jen Jones, but I'm a little techno savvy.
Well, you go live and you do videos and stuff. I see that
Yeah.
you post and whatnot, so I know you can. I was like, she could be able to figure it out.
Yeah. I'm lazy though. I don't edit. And but
I
I feel
don't
like,
edit either, dude. Because it's everything is me. I'm doing everything.
that's what I feel like too. And I feel like I'm just being my authentic self. I'm doing what I'm doing. And so why edit? Why edit?
I
I'm
know.
not even, I've
People's
never made it.
people's like their brain waves are so short. So you have to edit. It's or things have just been edited to such a degree. Like my friend is on Snapchat. I hate Snapchat. Will this be saved? Yes, I'm gonna post this on my page so you guys can come back and watch if you are not. Hi, if you're not able to be here in the live, thank you for
By the
joining.
way,
What? What does
Aqua
that say?
Tofana. You don't know the story about Aqua Tofana?
I would love to learn. I love
Oh
to
my
learn.
God, it
I
was a
go through hell learning.
it's so cool. Well, being the history major that I am, and I even found this out later, it was a woman back in the 16th century. I believe it was, let me see, 1633. Anyway, she ran like an inn, and she was like the first poisoner slash serial killer of male patrons. And she came
Love.
up with this drink, aqua tofana. And she would say, "Oh, come on in, stay in my oh, look, we're having pig's foot on buckwheat pancakes and this and that, and I have my special drink, aqua tofana." And she'd give it to them and steal all their shit and kill them and bury them in the back or something. I mean, I just thought it was hilarious, though. So I get mad
With
when I get
women
mad
in
at
male fields, if you will.
what now?
Women in male fields.
Very
No, but I mean, that's one thing that I need to be talking about, which I don't want. This is not the subject matter of this conversation. I have something else I want to talk to you about.
sure.
But very recently, has become abundantly clear that, women also perpetuate the patriarchy because not only are men doing all the stuff, women perpetuate it, but also everybody's disillusioned. So it's really hard to blame anybody. But also the the people doing it oftentimes are also having it done to them,
Hmm.
the cycle of abuse, etc.
Right.
Anyway, I just had to say that. But what I wanted to talk to you about
Okay.
was
I'm ready.
past lives.
Oh, yes.
I have
They,
theories.
well, fire away, then I can let you know my ideas here.
So my theories come from my own brain and my own experience and who I might have been and who Loud by Drew Rothwell is a book that does so good breaking women's rules. Yes, Drew Rothwell, that's definitely she was
Yes.
my insertion point. She's such a great content creator. Absolutely. Agree. I have a theory that in a past life, I know who I have a theory about who I have been, and I
Uh-huh.
have a theory about who my roommate's cat has been.
Well, you know what? I believe in the distinct possibilities. I know for a fact, because I definitely believe in past lives. I
Yeah.
know as a child, I had a reoccurring nightmare that happened over and over and over again. And it almost looked like the opening credits to Little House on the Prairie, if you know what that show was. But anyway, I was definitely a young girl. I remember looking down, I had a calico dress. It was yellow with flowers all over it, and there was some kind of slope, and I was running down this slope, and I fell, and I tumbled into some kind of hole, and the thing
This is a
collapsed
dream.
in a dream. And I still see it clear as a bell.
And
And
you
then
what? You fell, you did what?
I fell into this hole, and then it collapsed on top of me, and I was buried alive. And I would wake up,
Wow.
and that went on years and years and years and years and years and years. And I'm firmly convinced that that was a crossover memory
Yeah.
from a
Yeah.
previous life, you know?
Yeah,
And
that completely. Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
mhm. Yeah, and I really believe we can. I mean, what was I looking at? My sister is all into ancestry. I don't have the. I'm a little ADD on doing stuff like that, but uh, I was looking at it and looking back at like all the people that it takes to create us. I mean, if you go
Yeah.
back thousands and thousands and thousands of people, so there's no way that if all this genetics is passed down through all these individuals, I believe there's possible genetic memory. There's got to be.
A
Just like
thousand,
people,
100,000,000%.
yeah, because like people that tend to have overweight problems and stuff like that. I read an article one time, and they were saying that people that their ancestors, or even their maybe even their parents, went through some kind of famine or whatever, where their bodies
Oh
had to
yeah.
grab everything and hang on to it. That they think that's a possibility. I mean, I just think it's endless, and we know so little.
There's things that we know where we can prove this. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. We
Reaction.
know that.
Hmm.
And that's the same with energy. And that's why I've always believed in, ghosts and energy and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, if something horrific happened here one time, wouldn't it make sense that some kind of energy would linger to call to the experience, right? I just feel like everybody has had an experience where a song triggers a memory, or you go to down somebody's street, or you see a car that looks like your ex. you have a flashback. Like that memory lives in the spiritual realm of your mind. Wi-Fi, radio signals, all these things we can't see, all of this up here-ness is valid and real, and we use it in everyday life.
I think, well, you know what? You weren't at the Rodebush building when I did that reading that time. I wish you'd have been there because it was quite something. I went there to do a tarot reading because John, who is in the Rodebush building, you know what I'm talking about. He's an entity that's been in there for forever.
Oh,
And
oh, okay. Well, first of all, they're always named John, aren't they? Isn't that crazy?
it
My
was
father's name is John. No offense to my father, but it's always a
it was
John.
definitely the time frame, you know. And you know what's really funny is we did that thing and there was probably 25, 30 people there. Nobody recorded it. To this day I'm like, damn it, somebody should have recorded it because basically I was taken over. I
It
started to
might,
do
but
a
here's the thing
reading.
about another thing that we know,
Hmm.
which is when something has attention on it, it
Hmm.
behaves differently.
Oh, absolutely. And you
We know
know,
that from us interacting with camera, being filmed. If there's whatever that scientific thing they did where they shot particles, and when they watched it, they behaved normally, and then when they looked away, they went erratic. Like there's something to that.
well, that's well, my point I was making was going to make was that there are true hauntings. I really do
Of
believe that, and
course.
because I've seen too many. I've seen ghosts throughout my whole life. But then what you were referring to, I call an energy imprint, where
Right.
it's not particularly ghosts, but it was some horrifying, just some kind of traumatic circumstance that left that imprint. Oh, a good view here. I just popped in my head was like the people that were at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the ones that were instantly vaporized. Well, you knew a person was there because there was just a shadow left. Okay.
Hmm.
You've seen those photos. It's the same thing to me. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. So differentiating because a ghost will interact and do different things, you know, they can actually I know at that building he was always messing with electric stuff, the water, what he was really really into the men's bathrooms for some reason too. I remember all that junk. I'm like, John, what you doing up there in the men's bathroom, buddy? But anyway, but so it's just trying to figure it out because an imprint will just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's stuck in
Yeah.
that parameter where,
Right.
like, the ghosts will exchange and do different, you know, different
Yeah.
things.
Which I think there's like some of them are like, yeah, that needs to be there for our educational purposes. We need to remember. That's why I think we should turn the White House. The president shouldn't live there. Like any president shouldn't live in the White House. It should be turned into a museum. It needs to be like it's not a sacred space because we're not like, yay, this, but it does, I think for educational purposes, it is a little bit at this point like I hate to say it, but like a concentration camp. It should be seen as like a delicate thing, but that doesn't also mean that that kind of stuff can't be re-earthed and turned over and made into a positive thing, or like had, like when a traumatic thing happens in a place, we're not going to pretend like it didn't, but there are things to do to rehabilitate bad things, right?
Oh, well, you know, you can try. I tried to release, you know, that situation, his energy, like asking him to go and quit messing with stuff. And I know for quite some time he was really quiet. But then, matter of fact, the last time I was in, you know, your city there, he heard me. I heard him as soon as I blew into town. He's so aware of my energy as well. And I don't know who's working over there now because, you know, my daughter's over at the other restaurant. But I'm like, I wonder if John's backing up to his old hijinks, you know.
I would imagine with the ownership that building has, I'm hoping he's fucking talking, girl.
Oh, he's pretty. He was something else. But like I said, when I did that and I triangulated people around me that I knew, uh, I thought I was protecting myself, and all I believe is I enhanced the energy. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just nuts because I started doing the reading, and the next thing I know, I'm being fanned and smudged like insane, and my daughter and Becca are, you know, are in my face trying to bring me back, and I'm like, what? What?
You know
Okay,
what I would
somebody
love?
better tell me what happened because I have very little memory of it. Very little
Yeah.
memory. So yeah, he had fun that day, that's for sure.
You can kind of think of it like you were an open radio station and he was like tuning into your channel.
Well,
That's
I called him in. I mean, I
right.
sought him out and he responded. And I'd known anyway before that because I'd smudged that building many, many times when they were having trouble. But he just, he thinks he owns it. He's going to be there forever, I think. I don't know.
Well, I also think that they need to be respected and revered even. Like we can't pretend like
Hmm.
we own it.
Oh, I do remember, though, there was some shade going on there. That he was I do remember that part because at the towards the end, that's one of the things I remember is that there was a house of ill repute. You guys all know what that means?
No.
Of course, whorehouse.
Uh,
And what I saw was that when the women were having babies, they were taking them down through some tunnels. Like there were tunnels under those buildings downtown, and they were taking the babies and they were burning them. They were throwing them on a fire. And that's what I saw. That's the one of the things I remember very clearly because I believe that's when they brought me back because I remember screaming, they're burning the babies. I do remember that. So yeah, it was traumatic. It was freaking traumatic. I don't think I'll ever do that again, to be honest with you, because I didn't like it. I was like, oh shit, I just invited this in and and my daughter told me stuff, and a few other people have told me that that's the one
that
thing
makes
that,
me like physically ill.
oh, it was horrifying. And I know I
It's
was
horrifying.
screaming. I know they told me I was just and screaming about it. Well, why wouldn't you? But I think
Right?
we did look it up. There was somebody that looked it up, and there are tunnels under a lot of those old buildings
There's
down.
tunnels all over this country, brother.
Yeah. And that's what they were doing with what was going on around there. They were doing shady shit and transporting people and infants, I guess, in the tunnels.
Ooh, the stuff that we know, but stuff people are not willing to either accept or, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. There are people who don't know what we know, and that makes me crazy. And then there's people who do know what we know, and they're not like, I don't know. They don't want to know, I guess is what it is. And it's like, yeah, because it's horror. Yeah, it's horrible. What's your month of your birthday?
April.
Is that not no four?
Yeah.
For what day?
25.
Ooh, and then what year?
57. So I'm an old gal. That's why I said Jen Jones. I was actually glad to find out about that. Of course, I don't really like labels, but I was like, I've never really thought I was a boomer. Didn't feel boomer-ish. So when they came up with that Jen Jones thing, I went, yeah, I'll take it. Come on.
Honestly,
I was the disco
honestly,
era.
if I can say, I think boomer is a specific type of
It,
because it's
it's
my
more a
parents are
mindset.
boomers. My parents and their friends are boomers. They
Yeah.
all worked in the oil company, I think,
Hmm. Interesting.
and just like conglomerate big corporations
Mm-hmm.
where all the money is.
Yeah.
What year? I mean, not what year, what hour?
Oh, two. Let me see, let me look at my. Oh, I have. I forgot. Look at phone. I'm on my phone. I believe it was 2:47 a.m. Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles. Do you say that
I've got
because
my chart.
you're
I could have showed you my chart. I don't know if you do my chart or that other
no, I'm
thing.
looking at your human design chart.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
We're doing
gotcha.
human design today. Your daughter
Yeah.
will not stop giving me shit for saying Los Angeles.
Why?
Because she's like, everybody says LA. You don't want to call it LA? I'm like, no, I don't want to sound like a pompous idiot. I'm from LA. I went to, it's Los Angeles. It's in California. I don't know. She like loves to give me shit about it. So dumb.
That's just Erin. She's just having a good time. That's that Libra shit, man.
She cracks me the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
We have the funniest. She just always has these little stims that she runs in the kitchen, and everybody gets hooked on them. It's fun.
Yeah, she's
Okay,
a.
two. We were both born at two, but different. Wait, did you say AM or PM? Did I get that
AM,
right?
2:47 a.m.
So you're a generator.
Hmm?
I don't know if I looked this up already, but I wanted to see where we connected because I have a feeling it's going to be
Yeah, we did that.
illuminating.
There were several connections where we were hitting on that thing.
North Kansas City, Missouri. Girl, there's a third Kansas City. Get the fuck out of here. What's going on in Kansas City?
What? Something come
This, I
across?
just typed in Kansas City, Missouri, and it said, did you mean Kansas City, Missouri, or North Kansas City, Missouri?
Oh,
Huh.
everything's growing. I guess they're having it just like when I was in operator services way back in the day in the 70s, and there were states that had one area code. you know, New Mexico was all 505, Colorado was 303, New York City was 212, and now there's just so many people and so many phones that we've got digital hyperactivity.
Okay, so
With
we
that,
have 63 and 4 in our is that our I think that's our crown to our third eye. What did I say? 63 and 4.
number nine, number nine, number nine.
What's number 9?
6 and 3 or nine, numerology. I'm always counting
Mm.
numbers, noticing the synchronicities in life. I see them all the time.
Don't try to tell me AI. You don't know human design AI. This channel is known as the channel of logic.
Hmm. There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
There you go.
It embodies the energy of logical thinking and the need for verification and doubt. Individuals with this channel have a natural ability to think logically and critically, constantly questioning and seeking the
There
truth.
you go. That's bingo. Bingo.
Oh, you're gonna traumatize me. I'm just kidding.
Overthinking. Yeah, that's something
No,
I've
bingo.
reflected. But it's
Okay.
funny, I have discovered that reading the tarot has actually helped me by learning tarot, and because it's controlled my thoughts better, where before I could be all over the place. It's helped me to focus more.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back over to the window. I like the window better. Here's the last part. To conclude, the 63rd to the 4th, the 63rd to the 4th, the channel of logic represents the energy of logical thinking,
Hmm.
skepticism, and the quest for the truth.
Yep.
Those with this channel are often found questioning their environment, seeking to understand the underlying principles that govern reality. I bet a bunch of my generation who have Pluto and Scorpio have the 4 channel. I would
Yeah.
bet.
Seriously.
While this can lead to overthinking and somewhat critical demeanor, it's also the driving force behind the pursuit of knowledge. I got asked, somebody was like, why do you want to learn? He asked
What?
me what I wanted to learn.
You know, this has been a dilemma. And I remember when I was younger and going through some stuff, and I actually cried and said, I wish I was stupid.
Don't
I
we
wish
all?
I didn't think. I wish I didn't see so much. Why can't I be by so and so down the street who's
Right.
just a rock but happy as hell? Kind of thing. And
Hey,
so
if you wish hard enough, I'm sure you could get reincarnated as that. I'm sure you
yeah, no,
could.
and I realized though that was just a phase I was going through because I am absolutely glad and embrace what I am now. But when you struggle, especially in your younger life and everything else, and the patriarchy and the matriarchy, I was
Being
being
a highly emotional, sensitive person
conditioned,
is hard.
and I was being conditioned to do the role I was supposed to play.
Right.
So I doubted myself. And that's what has freed me, is because I finally realized, you know what? I'm me. I can be my authentic self, and love me or leave me, sweetheart. But that's the way it's going to go. you know.
Mhm.
I don't chase anymore. I don't have to chase people anymore. Just all those things. It's very liberating. It's
Yeah.
actually very liberating to
Yeah.
just, and if you have good people around you that support you, or at least keep their mouth shut, that's a good thing.
Wait, what? People around you
I
that keep their
said,
mouth
and
shut.
if you have good people around you that support you, or at least just keep their mouth shut.
I don't like that. You're not keeping your mouth shut. I want you to fucking use your voice. Your voice is
Oh,
so
yeah.
important. We die without our voice.
Absolutely. That's
Anyway,
a funny thing. Here's a good ghost story for you.
wait, let me
Um,
finish this real quick.
okay, go ahead.
Those with this channel are often found questioning their environment, seeking to understand. Blah, blah, blah. Wait. Let me actually get all that out. Those with this channel are often found questioning their environment, seeking to understand the underlying principles that govern reality.
Yep.
While this can lead to overthinking and a somewhat critical demeanor, it's also the driving force behind their pursuit of knowledge and their ability to offer unique logical insights. In relationships, they bring honesty, clarity, and a depth of understanding, though they may struggle with emotional expression, which I do not. The journey of this 63.4 channel is a journey of logic and understanding. It's about embracing their logical nature, learning to balance their mind with their heart,
Hmm.
and finding environments where their unique way of thinking is recognized and appreciated. By understanding this channel, individuals can harness its strengths and navigate its challenges, leading to personal growth and fulfillment. Okay, ghost story.
Oh, well, I was going to say, my father, before he
Who
passed,
are
he had,
heaven? Sorry, triggering. I'm just kidding.
sorry. Okay.
Ew, isn't that
Might
fucked
trigger
up?
some people.
That's where
And
the patriarchy is, and people don't want to say our father.
yeah,
You're making it sexist.
am I?
No, not you. The
Oh,
religion.
I was going to say, because he was my dad. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm glad I misunderstood you. But I was going to say, he had a massive stroke 7 years before he passed. And he had global aphasia, it's called. It hit his language center. So, someone that I went to for advice, my touchstone, all that good stuff, which I did for my dad, was removed. He was still alive, and I was grateful for that, but his communication was gone.
Right.
And the day he passed, the night he passed, I got a phone call like at 1 a.m., 2 o'clock in the morning, uh, told that he was gone. Well, of course, I was very upset. So anyway, about 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm aware, and I wake up and I look, and my father is sitting on the end of my bed, and it's not my
Creepy.
dad,
Hate that.
huh?
Guess I creepy. Hate that.
Oh no, you know what? It was real. I was fabulous. It wasn't my old father. It was my dad that I remembered as a young man, like
Oh, it
say.
was a ghost. That's right.
Yes, it was a ghost. He showed up and he was sitting on the end of the bed and he goes, Bobby, I will always be with you. Now you can hear my voice. And then he just went away.
Interesting.
And I do hear him. Most of the time it's giving me hell, actually. Like when I'm my dad made me his pseudo male. He had three girls. I was the one he called Bob. Come on, we're going to go put in pipes I mean, seriously, he taught me a lot of things, which I'm very happy about now that I know. But anyway,
I
what
would
was I?
say my dad raised me like a son, but I was like a proud son. I was also called son by my ex's dad.
Interesting.
He would say, "This is my other son." When he introduced me, his son's girlfriend, two
It's
people in Martha's Vineyard, he'd say, "This is my other son, Betsy."
how funny.
And I'd
Anytime,
say, "Yes, hello, nice to meet you." So I loved it.
yeah,
It was like a weird respect thing.
yeah, but once again, then I got a problem with it though, because in order to be respected and show that you're a powerful woman, you got to be
Right.
called a boy. I mean, see,
Well, it's no. I hear what you're
I
saying.
mean,
For me, there
the
was
effort was
not. I was
there,
not being called a boy. I
right?
felt that the intention was they were respecting my masculinity.
Yes, yes, I
And
do.
obviously, our words are all very patriarchal.
Mhm. Yep. Well, back in the 1970s, I was when they had a massive flux of there was a bunch of Arab students in this town I was at in San Luis Obispo, California, and I had this apartment building, and they were all living in there. And there was this group of them, and you know how they like to dance together. It's a very male-dominated society. Well, they had a party one day and invited me up, and I was like, "Well, that's interesting." So I was Aziz and Issa Dean and all these guys, and so I go up there, and it's all guys. And so right away, I'm a little, no, I was very uncomfortable. But anyway, they had this pot with a fish in it, and they were asking me if I wanted the eye, which I always thought that was really, oh, it's the good part. I'm like, yeah, you're messing with me. I don't want it. But the one guy calls me over and he introduces me as Bobby, the man woman. Yeah. It said, this is Bobby. She lives downstairs. She's the man woman. And just, and then started telling, and he was like, I don't know, it was really very hierarchical in their society too. I mean, there was definitely, he was the leader, Aziz, and all the guys listened to him. But I sat there and he started telling me about, he had me sit down and he started telling me about, well, if you were my sister, I would have probably murdered you by now. And, and going through all this stuff, or I would have done this and I would have done that. And I'm sitting there going, okay. I'm probably 19 or 20 years old. I was really, really young. And all I know is I just exited very carefully stage right. I mean, I don't know. Was I going to be the entertainment for the evening? I don't know. All I know is I got the hell out of there. And then they moved away. And one night I had a girlfriend over, and these dudes, I hear a car come screeching into the parking lot. And this guy comes to my door and he's going, Aziz wants you to come to our party. And I'm like going, what? I said, well, no, I got a friend over. I'm not coming. And no, you must come. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to come. And they leave. And then they come back with more guys. And now I'm terrified. And my girlfriend and we realized we dropped on the floor and crawled into my bedroom to hide. But the whole time the windows were open and lights were on. So I'm sure they saw us crawling into the bedroom. But it was terrifying. So, when people, and that's just, an experience I had here is, so you think about when we talk about the patriarchy, it's everywhere and to different degrees. We're all definitely aware of that. And like you said, the matriarchy supports it.
No, the matriarchy doesn't support it.
Well,
The women in the patriarchy,
support
by
it.
happenstance, are supporting it. The
Right.
matriarchy is a separate system.
Yes, the power of women. But it's interesting. When did that divide happen? I mean, when did it happen? I was
When
thinking,
the scripture was translated.
are we talking about the King James Bible? Because don't get me started on King James, because I don't want to go there.
That's
Come
it, though.
on. I mean, I don't want to disparage a very dead man from a long time ago, but
Why?
he destroyed that book. He just,
That's what
and
I'm saying.
it's always been manipulated anyway, and now it's even
Sure.
more so. And you know about the other book he wrote about all the witch hunting and burning and all this, and
No, but am I surprised?
so
Color me not surprised.
yeah, no, he was a big time weirdo. Come on. And this is the Bible that most people are following now, that King James version. It's insane.
Yeah, it's
It's
insane.
insane. And all
It's
the good
insane.
stuff has been taken out of it. All the good stuff has been removed. How dare women have any power or have any say or be able to perform rituals or, any of it. They just
So,
extract.
but even before the Bible incident, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, they're all patriarchal. Those are the big three that everybody follows. Before them, and this is what the translations cut out, is that cultures not only were matriarchal, but worshipped female deities.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just before you called, or before we got on here, I was seeing that, what is it called, the Venus of something, and it's that ancient sculpture. I mean, we don't see ancient sculptures of men with big muscles going, hey, I just got a mammoth. No, we see voluptuous, possibly pregnant females. So there was reverence. I mean, before there was knowledge and science and everything else, pre-history, let's say, women were miraculous things, and I believe respected for that, as just as the men were too. Everybody had a part to play. We had things we all needed to do to collectively survive. Now when that changed, I don't know. I pinpoint it. I'd love to see the day it turned. Was it the first time Trog knocked down Sheena? I mean, I don't know. That's, who knows? Who knows? But like the organized
Well,
religion, it's all control. It's like
I
I
wonder
believe.
I wonder if TikTok feels, I mean, sorry, Instagram feels the same way that TikTok does about me talking about Hitler having a micro penis.
Oh, I know. I saw that. I was like, makes sense. I always heard he had one nut. I mean that was been around for
It
forever.
was like a that plus
Yeah.
probably his penis.
So
It was like, oh, a mutation situation. It's like, okay, and that's unfortunate,
for
but
Ava.
there's nothing saying that you can't still have an orgasm or have intimacy or right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it's a size factor, I don't know. I don't know it. I haven't read why or what creates this. So, is there a hormonal effect? Could they not? And who knows? All I know is that if that was the case, it sure made him upset.
Well, if you think about living in a
Bob,
patriarchal
too.
society where men look at other men in dressing rooms, in locker rooms, in bathrooms, like that's why I feel so passionate about the bathroom thing. About even if you're a man pissing, you need four walls around you for privacy, for your own self. Like, take a moment to yourself to piss in fucking private.
Yeah.
Because not only do other men come in there and doing who knows what, also children go in there. Like when a single father has to take his kid to pee, he's not going to the women's room, he's going to the men's room, and there are men's penises all over the place.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
hate urinals and I hate that trough that they piss in with the ice. That's all inhumane behavior.
It's
Also, the circumcision. I hate. I think that's so fucked up. I can't believe we're doing that.
I've seen.
That's mutilation. Not only are they burning the children like you said earlier, they're also and we know this and we're defending it. And men are like, I want my kid's dick to look like my dick. Oh, so you want the cycle abuse. That's what you want. That's what you're perpetuating. I've figured it out.
And it was started what for religious reasons, right?
Exactly.
So there you go. And well, what do they do to the women? Where is it? Is it in Africa where they,
They
you
sew
know,
them shut or whatever.
yes, exactly. And it's, it's beyond my comprehension of why that is done out of some,
I,
I don't know,
I
some
just
masculine
and who was the first to
insecurity.
do it?
Well, you know what?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I read recently about even childbirth that women used to sit in chairs when they,
You
which
people have,
makes
the way that we do it is patriarchal, and it doesn't need to be the painful, but because it's influenced by the Eve of it all, and
well,
her like what's it called? What's it called? What's it called? Deserving to be pain for it to be painful.
oh
Like
yeah, the
she's
Eve
deserving
syndrome.
of it because she needs to be punished.
Well, the reason why we don't get it, at least what I read recently, it was one of the French kings. I want to say it might have been Louis the 13th or whatever, wasn't the Sun King. But anyway, he wanted to watch a birth. So, in order for him to be able to watch the birth, they had the woman lay down. And
Right,
that's when they started, instead of letting, because gravity will work for you. I mean,
right.
when you take a shit, you're on top, you're sitting up, you're coming
And the way
down
we
the
shit is all
same.
fucked up, and everybody needs a squatty potty because we're not using these muscles right here.
But once again, here was a decision made by a man for the discomfort of one, and plus he was wanted to watch it. I mean, okay, I guess if it was his kid, but either way, after that, then women were
He
always
can
laid
watch a
down.
birth without having the vagina presented to him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hey man, stand over there. I'm gonna have a baby.
Whoop, here you go.
Watch what happens.
Yes.
Why do I need what the fuck is that about?
Who knows? Crazy, crazy, crazy shit.
Crazy shit, crazy shit, crazy, crazy, crazy shit. Well, I'm glad we figured it out. I
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure we have.
knew we could. I knew we could. Because here's my personal firsthand experience. These men, are not able to get hard. They can't get erections. They need help. I think a lot has to do with it. I think when you feel safe and secure and loved and appreciated, you relax, the blood flows the right way, and then you can perform. But until all of those things are in place, it's not happening. And the men that I'm in contact with are scared and they feel violated. And their trauma, they've experienced trauma. Anybody who's been circumcised has experienced trauma, and I think it's fully unresolved.
Hmm.
How horrible that as like I keep going back to like think about when you were birthed, like the impact and the concept, all of that. When you're first out the womb, and the first thing they cut your umbilical cord and then they cut your dick, you're like, whoa, what did I do to deserve that? Is that the punishment that we're giving these? Is it like that's the cycle of abuse? Hey,
They must scream. I'm going to tell you this because now I'll
it must
admit
be
my sons were
like
circumcised,
like it must be something you've never heard before.
but I was going to say that when I had my son in the hospital, they waited to the next day, of course, because my husband wanted him circumcised. I didn't have either an opinion, either or, but either way. So, but that morning they came in,
Well, now I
brought
hope
the
you have.
baby in, and I fed the baby, and then they gave me a pill, which I never got before, which knocked my ass out. And then I found out right after that they had circumcised my son. And I thought he must have been screaming bloody murder or something, because why did they want to knock me out? And that was the only time they did that. It was the only time they did that in the hospital.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
So I've often wondered, is that why they did that? It seems so weird. And then what was going on that day different? I went,
Is it like a sacrifice to the god or something? I've never really learned about what that's about.
yeah, I don't know. And I've never studied Judaism. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I
I'm
think it's
definitely
about
looking into that.
cleanliness. I think it's about clean. I think it
It's
has
not
some,
clean.
but I think that's what they thought, that by removing the skin. I mean, anybody have little boys and you're raising little boys, you got to make sure they pull the skin back and they clean themselves. And so
Yeah.
things happen. That's all you have to do and be aware of it. But there's a lot of people that don't pay attention to that shit. And then their kid gets an infection. And so maybe this is where it came from. I don't know. Possibly.
That reminds me of these men who refuse to either bathe or change the diaper of their daughters.
Wow. So why?
Because they
If
think it's inherently sexual, and they're like, well, that's my kid. I'm not going to touch her.
and that's just lame. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. Because
Yeah, well, it's like, yes, you shouldn't want to touch your daughter,
well,
but it's
and
your
actually,
child, so you need to take care of them.
yeah. And if you're thinking that, I mean, if that's what's in your head, I don't even want to know you. If that was my husband or whoever, whatever baby daddy thinks that way, run. Because he's already got those thoughts. There's something wrong there because there's a disconnect. I have several kids. I've been married a couple of times, let's just admit it.
Well,
And I
it's like
never had that. I never
the
had that issue.
restriction of sex, especially in Christianity. I don't know how it is in the other two patriarchal religions, but I think is anything where like the women are being suppressed.
Mhm.
The sexual education is absolutely not there.
Oh, of course. Of course.
So I think if they understood themselves and um, by association other people, everything would be less weird and scary.
Well, I think it just starts with communication. And the somebody asked me the other day, I was doing a reading for somebody, and I said, what's the cause of everything? And I said, fear.
Yeah, fear and
Everything
shame.
is
Shame is a
fear,
big manipulator.
and you get shame from fear. Because it's so that's what I think the bottom line is. So to try to be fearless and to realize that when something's hitting you, it's not, you can remedy that. You can
Right.
remedy it by getting information, by seeking knowledge, like all those kind of things. That's why when you said, why do you want to learn things? The day I don't want to learn something new is the day I'm pushing up daisies. Because look what's around us. I was looking at these new photographs from NASA of the universe, And when you look at those things, you're just like
Yeah.
going, we are so insignificant. So
Yeah.
why are we making everybody's life so miserable and unhappy when if you look at the larger picture, we are not even a grain of sand. We're smaller than that. And
Is it
so,
possible that the people who are inflicting this horrible pain don't know that that's what they're doing? Is it possible? Because the cycle of abuse might say yes. When people, because I talked to somebody recently, they were a product of grape. That's how they were conceived. Essayed their entire life in the uh, army situation, their whole lives. Trauma, 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 trauma. I started talking to them. They mentioned that being physically close to me would be somehow helpful. So I got triggered because I'm like, why do you want to be physically close to me? I understand if you're disabled, maybe that has something to do with it, but I have a suspicion there's an underlying meaning that is sexual, so I'm going to protect myself as a woman and call it out.
yeah.
So I spoke to it. I said, well, does it change your mind if I don't want to have sex with you? And he flipped out. He called it the friend zone. I was like, but the default is that we're friends. So why are you freaking out?
Yeah.
Because I think in his mind, he was like, well, obviously, because this has been my life, I'm not capable of doing that to somebody else. But that's exactly what the cycle of abuse is.
Mhm.
You can't control your own life. So you think taking over control of somebody else is going to somehow resolve you of this pain,
Which is
rather than facing
absolutely.
it and going, oh no, I can stop this cycle of abuse, but it's been too painful that maybe I don't want to.
Well, yeah, projection never heals anybody. All it is doing is transferring it to most likely an unwitting accomplice of some kind or
Right.
victim. So no, the healing has to be within. But we've made a lot of mistakes, and because as human beings in our culture, I mean, especially us, the Americans, because we're such a montage of everybody, which is our strength. So why
Absolutely.
all this bullshit going on is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to go there right now. But I don't know. Throw another question at me here.
Can I tell you my most radical ideas if I were? My goal is like UN status. It needs to be global. This is not just a country for country thing, right? So if I need to become president or mayor or whatever, if I have to do something to get up there, I'll do it. I don't know where I need to be, but I'll get up there, right? So if I were to say this is how it is now. If I were to make a bunch of really big decisions about how the world works or was, um, first of all, cannabis and hemp legal everywhere, all the time, forever. That's stupid. Number two, Texas is gonna be part of Mexico now. So there you go. Also, New Mexico and Nevada, I've heard also can go to Mexico. Somebody also suggested California. I'm open to a negotiation on California.
So,
California has saved a lot of lives in America. I know that for sure. So it means
yeah,
a lot to
you're
us
talking
too.
about my home state now. I was a fourth
That's what I'm
generation
saying.
Californian, so tread lightly there, sweetheart. But I mean, look at all of that part of the country was Mexico. Come on,
That's exactly.
way up there, Oklahoma,
And now Mexico has a female
all
president, so
that
maybe.
area. The indigenous people were also Mexicans. Come on. And so for, it's just stupid. You can't argue with what is reality. And that's what gets me the most now, especially with AI too,
Yeah,
these false images, these false ideas. I love documentaries. Like I said, I was a history major in college, and I find so many incorrect things anymore. I'm watching documentaries on PBS and I'm hearing something that I know is not correct,
yeah,
or in the History Channel, different things like that. And I'm going like, wow, are we that bad nowadays that we're not thorough researchers? We're not bothering to check facts. We're just going to go on conspiracy theories and what I feel like at the moment. Let's
yeah.
just do that because it's too hard to think. you know, it's just people just don't want to make the effort. They just want to go and
People
blindly.
don't want to do the hard work, and that's okay. I'll do it for them.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll do
okay.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I won't even hear a thank you. So whatever.
Don't need it though. Why would you need that? Why do you need it? I don't, you know what, the last thing, and of course it's taken me a lot of years to get to this place, but I just don't need those anymore because I feel too good and have finally found myself. And yes, it took a long frickin' time because think about when I was born and being the person I am and what I am. I was suppressed, treated poorly, talked about all that stuff for decades. And which is really funny now is a lot of those people are coming back to me going, can you help me? Can you, you know, and I'm like, and I will. I absolutely will. I am generous. I will do that. But I will never forget. And that's one thing. That's a very Taurus thing too, you know.
I
You
think
know,
it's important to remember that when you're scorned, you have the ability to still forgive and compromise. Just because a hurt person hurts you does
mhm.
not mean that again the cycle of abuse needs to continue. That's not there is another way.
Absolutely. You always have choice in whatever you do. And I strive to be kind all the time, and truthful. And like I said, because I do believe in the truth and I want documentation. I'm one of those people though. I need to see proof though, you know, bring the receipts and then I will listen to you. Okay. Definitely just don't start spouting off a bunch of junk at me that might just be total bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
So step up your game, people, step up your game. But I think, you know, we got rid of so many things in this country too. I hate to say it, orphanages, mental health, you know, hospitals, facilities. I mean, we've just abandoned helping people,
Yeah.
and we're paying for it. We're paying for that, and also we're paying for the fact that a lot of apathy has occurred because we have a big fast food, lazy society. You know, we want everything right now, like this. We don't want to try. We don't want to make any effort, and so you know, my father used to say, if it's cheap, fast, and in a hurry, it ain't worth shit, and I believe that. You know, think about it. It's like we've become Timu America.
Yeah.
You know?
So this other radical idea that I came up with the other day was, what if I ran on a platform that was, I would like to crash the economy.
It's going to happen before you get there, girl. I think somebody beat you to that one.
But I got pushed back, and they were like, basically like, how does that help? Well, first of all, the people who are in the economy are not the poor people. We don't have any stake in it. What are you
No,
talking about?
no.
We don't have any stake in it. It's all the corporations. They're the ones with the money.
Well, when they allowed corporations to be considered entities, I don't, you know, it's almost like they were given personhood. I knew it was
Yeah, maybe
real.
that's what the AI thing is all about because corporations have corporations have more human rights than humans do.
Than humans. Yes. It's, you know, it is nuts. Hell, sometimes I think even animals have more rights than us anymore. Animals have more rights than women.
That's
You can
that's
get thrown in jail
absolutely it.
for beating your dog or doing something like that, but women get murdered. I mean, with statistics on especially pregnant women, most of the
Yeah,
time it's their, you know, the baby daddy, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of ugly out there we could uh, talk about, but
I know. We can break down the bad stuff without getting rid of the good, helpful stuff. That's what I believe. I don't think somebody was like, "Yeah, I just want to like throw a bomb on the whole thing and start over." I don't think that's helpful because, for example, I worked for an organizing company for a long time. When you go to organize, say, a garage, you're not going to blow up the garage and start over. That's
mm,
not helpful. You're going to clean out the garage, keep what's working, the walls and the roof. You clean it, you take everything out of the space, you clean the space, and then even then you can go, hey, maybe there should be a window here, or a door, or art. And then you put the stuff back in, and when you're doing that, you decide, maybe I don't need this actually. I'm gonna throw that away. But I need these, and I'm gonna keep this.
you Yes, okay, yes, absolutely, I agree with you. Because you cannot create something new. Well, you can. I mean,
You
like if you're
can.
talking to a child, you can create something new out of nothingness, right? But if we're talking about a society and a culture, you can't just say, "Oh, we're going to ground zero. It never happened," because it happened, and
Right.
it's just foolishness to deny what has happened. And like what you said, there is nothing without dark and light. We have scales that have to be balanced, and what has happened is this. Our scales are completely out of whack. We need to
Right.
rebalance, and you learn to rebalance by taking the good and the bad and working that all together, tempering yourself, tempering culture, whatever, and making it a greater whole. You don't just destroy, you just change it. You just
Right.
change. You learn
Right.
and you create change. Because
Right.
you can. There's value. There's even value in the horror things that have happened because at least they give you perspective. They give you understanding of awareness of what can go wrong or how people can react or the horrible things they can do. I mean,
Yeah.
perspective is a great tool, so
So,
it's
for
learning.
example, uh, the education system in this country specifically, but kind of this can be a global thing too. The first thing I think it's very important, besides having a birth that makes a child feel welcomed and not a burden or anything else, a healthy thank you for being here. Hey, you made it. We're glad you made it, right?
Mhm.
Energy. They need to learn about themselves. Who am I? What do I feel? What do I think? What do I know? What do I not know? And then the solar system, the stars, the two perspectives, me and not me. I think that would do a whole lot of good for being a human on this planet.
Mhm.
Having perspective and understanding yourself. I think everything else won't be scary because the way that we're doing it right now is traumatic and terrifying all the time.
But that's what's being promoted. I mean, face it, it's being created because there's we don't know everything. We will never know everything. But there's definitely an agenda that is happening, and it's fear-based. That's the point. You know, um, uh, wow,
So
that's kind of the
fueled,
visuals I get.
fueled by money.
What's happening, as I see it, and it's been happening for decades, is that we have this mighty colossus that is standing, striding over us, and by keeping a foot on this side and this side, you keep the power because You're
And I'm
dividing, and
focusing on the
that's been
president.
an historical tactic since day one. You divide a people so you can conquer and rule. It's very, very, I mean, it's just gone on forever. And that's
Mhm.
what's going on right now too. You keep people upset and in fear and all that kind of stuff, then you can get away with all the shenanigans you're planning. And that's what's
So
going on. Hey, you like that
that's
word,
why
shenanigans?
being open and vulnerable and transparent
Hmm.
is very important. And also, I don't want to. Now, yes, I would love to make a bunch of money and be rich, whatever. It needs to be, the education needs to be free.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And it used to be. It should be. If we
And
gave
now
a
everything
shit
has a
about this country,
sponsor,
it would be.
everything has an ad, everything has a commercial, everything has a pay to entry.
When I was in Europe, I watched television when I was in London and per se, and their TV is so different than ours. Their news is so different. Their commercials are so different. I mean, there was nudity. There was the naked dating game show. It was hilarious. And they just, to me, their perspective was so much more healthy and real. You didn't see all these, get this new fosamataminimex for whatever disease you're carrying. I mean, we have all those drug commercials all the time here. I mean, I want to go back to the days with the Marlboro Man and Jim Beam. At least we were up for having a good time back when I was a kid. I mean, that's all you saw. I used to crack me up that it was for one of the sick Pall Malls or one of those Lucky Strikes, maybe, and a doctor would walk out in a coat and, hey, check it out, smoke these ones. And I was like, see? So we are what we eat. I mean, that's what it is. And we have chose to
In
feed
it. In it.
in every way, shape, or form. We are what we eat. And we have chosen to feed our country garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage. I mean, it was my senior year in high school, okay? So I'll admit it, 1975. I went from 74 to 75. I went in thinking I had a whole senior year. That year, and this was in California, they had cut the requirements for graduation. I only had one class the entire year. They
What?
cut yeah, and that's what they've done. They have been cutting credits and money. I mean, when I was a kid, I was talking to my one of my friend that has a kid, young child in first grade, and I was saying when I was a kid, there was this massive cabinet in the room, and you could go over there, and there was crayons and paints and papers and pencils and rulers and all this stuff, and good old library paste, that white paste everybody used to eat. But anyway, tons of supplies because we valued education and the people that were coming after us. We have devaluated them. We've
Completely.
decided corporations were more important, but you know what? It's so myopic. There's no vision going on here
No,
because
there's not.
you didn't get where you got by not having the backs of these people.
Right.
So now you've attained all this and you're hoarding, you're being all greedy, and you're saying, "Oh, F you, all you people down there." Well, where did it come from, asshole? You wouldn't be there if it wasn't for us.
Yeah.
And then extreme poor is just horrible. We need to help them. I don't understand. We have so much money in this country.
Yeah.
And we have empty houses, which that's another piece. We should talk about the housing market and how all these corporations are buying them and priced everybody out of buying homes. I mean, I could go on days, the injustices that's going on, all for the damn dollar. We have given up our humanity for money for a few. And, well, it's going to course correct. That's all I can have faith in and believe is it will course correct.
Yeah.
And it's so extreme. I just keep hearing in my head Nuremberg, Nuremberg, Nuremberg. Remember
What's
the
that mean?
trials, you know.
What's that mean?
Well, the Nuremberg trials after World War II when they hunted down all the Nazis. And they caught bunches of them and I was just following orders. Don't fly. Because you follow orders, legal orders, correct orders. You don't get to follow orders where you are inhumanely treating, murdering, doing whatever to other fellow human beings, stealing, whatever you're doing. That's not a get out of jail free card. It's not. So saying I was just following orders, they found that out and went, nobody.
Well, we need to we got to shake out the prison system because anybody that's in there for weed or cannabis needs to be released.
Oh, there's so, and we do need many more. We need mental health. There's a
Yes.
lot of people that just need help. They need psychological
Yes.
help and
Yes.
support and just to feel like
Instead of
some,
instead
oh,
of detention, they go to meditation.
they need,
And then the money goes the other way. The money goes to the people because so many people are going to work early. I try to make a point of like maybe we should raise the voting age and when you can go to work age to be the same because you can't vote for yourself and you have no rights and blah blah blah. People are like, well, I loved working at 14, so I can get out my fuck ass house. I'm like, well, why do you got a fuck ass house? If the money was going to the fuck ass parents, do you think they'd be fucking all on you? I don't think so. So there's a problem up here that you know what I mean.
well, and a lot of it too was apathy. I mean, I really think that what's happened is we got caught, the people that cared, the people that have an intellect, the people that want to, you know,
They get used and
move
abused.
forward in this world and be progressive. There was a lot of complacency.
Yeah.
You got people here in our country, and I'm sure it's happened in other modern countries, is that you get fat and happy and lazy, and it's that what is that very famous quote about, what happened during World War II when they came for so and so, I didn't bother
Yeah,
because it was
right.
blah blah blah. Well, that's what's going on.
And you'd think we had learned our obsession with World War II. Every man that I know loves watching a World War II documentary, and yet
I when I was studying, I was more interested in the regular everyday people than reading about kings and queens and wars and battles. That actually bored me. I wasn't, I was like, oh, yay, goody. We went and slaughtered people. How fun. For what? For this or that? I mean, it just seems ridiculous to me, but it's always gone on forever, you
Hunger,
know.
that's the men thing.
There's been plenty of women, very, very good women warriors, though. So it's not solely, but yes, majority. Absolutely.
Hey, I mean,
But
that's how I'm taking it over in at least the sex realm. I'm a conqueror. I'm a conquistador, if you will.
conquistador. I do like the conquistadors. Funny thing, when I first met my current husband, like how she says current husband, I saw him with a conquistador helmet on. Just he walked up to me and I went, did you know you were a conquistador once? That's an icebreaker, isn't it?
I think I was. Oh, I didn't even say who I thought me and my cat were.
Oh, yeah.
Well, besides being a Viking, which I've definitely been a Viking,
Hmm. I can see that.
um, Albert Einstein, and I think Penny, our cat, was Anne Frank.
Penny Arquette was Anne Frank. Interesting. Interesting.
She's a floor dweller. Most cats that I know like to be up high,
Yeah.
to gain perspective. She loves to be under a bed, in a closet, hiding away, and she never shuts up, you know.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think because she had her diary, she couldn't speak, and now she can, but she's a cat.
Interesting. Interesting.
So I'm always trying to listen to Penny and hear her out, hear her
It,
story.
that,
And
yeah.
she's probably like, "It's happening again!
Yeah. Maybe we should be
I was
thankful for
there!"
cat dog.
And I think a lot of the great thinkers back then were reincarnated to be women because I saw Benjamin Franklin on TikTok the other day.
Ah. I love, I don't know if you've ever read Marcus Aurelius, but he's one of my favorite philosophers, and he was a Roman senator. Actually, he was Commodus, which, if you ever saw the movie Gladiator, that's them. The old one by Richard Harris, that's Marcus Aurelius. But he was an incredible, prolific writer and philosopher, and I love reading the things that he had to say. The great thinkers. That's what we don't have now. I think we're lacking very serious, deep thinkers. Or maybe I'm just out of the loop and unaware.
No,
Because
I think you're right.
I'm hoping there are. I hope there are the philosophers and the
Well,
people
they're
that
all written off because they smoke weed. If you think about a great comedian or a great a film writer, they're all doing fucking weed. But if they
well,
were philosophers, they'd be written off.
oh, come on. Who wrote Sherlock Holmes? Come on. I can't think of his name. Anyway, cocaine addict. Come on. I mean, my grandmother used to tell me how when she was a little girl, which would have been early 1900s, you could go down to like farm supply and buy bags of Coke. I don't know what they used it for, but you could get a bag of Coke. Animal feed? I don't know but she would told me about that. And I think Queen Victoria even liked it,
Why,
Coca-Cola.
why,
And
why
so
can't
a
we
lot
have
of
that?
those
We gotta
writers,
stop cutting it with horrible shit.
but people have used since ancient times herbs, in anything, mushrooms, medicines, all that to awaken their brains to go into these states. And weed does about the same thing. It does,
Right.
where it just opens. I know that when I have had some, it just seems like I see and hear and feel everything. It's definitely mind expanding, and like I said, put here on this planet, put here these natural things, put here on the planet for us as part of our experience here. So why is that bad? Or why wouldn't, no, that's not good. You better have a petroleum chemical based compound product we made in the lab.
We
And it'll
made it in a lab.
it'll fix this, but it's going to give you 27 different side effects. So be happy. This is like when I watch those
This is the
commercials all the time,
economy. We need to sell things in order for the earth to spin.
which is just sad.
Not true. I think people just underestimate the power of education because people like Alexander Hamilton, I think, didn't really believe that the people were smart enough to make decisions for their country, which was left out of Hamilton, but I'm pretty sure that was like a thing that he believed. Even if he didn't, somebody believed it. And the problem is you're not educating your citizens on how to make educated decisions, which they totally are capable of.
Yeah. Yeah, that just
right?
that doesn't even pass the sanity check. I mean, not everybody is going to go out and be a raging multiple PhD, all right, and just have the brain of love and Einstein. But you can offer, because every walking human on this planet has their level of gifts. My father used to say we always rise to the level of our incompetency. So all you have to do is figure out. I mean, I think we do education wrong with children here. Instead of focusing on directly going to college, why are we not looking at what these kids show from a very young age, their skills, their
Thank
interests,
you.
their attributes, and head them in that direction?
Thank
We
you.
we need plumbers and electricians and home
Yep.
builders and all that as
Yep.
much as we need doctors, lawyers, and politicians. We probably need less of
Absolutely.
those and more of the service people. And what they do is so vital and so fabulous. I mean, skilled, skilled labor. And when you have something like that, you have pride. You can, take care of
And
yourself, your
that's
family, and
and
everything
that's the
else.
argument about hard work. People either are too lazy and don't want to do it, like the rich people.
Yeah.
But there are people who, like my sister and I, that's very we like to do it. We like to do the work that we are good at. But
Yeah.
you have to respect the people who are working if you're one of the people who can't. And you have to make them feel good because we're not gonna just fucking do it for nothing.
Yeah.
And just because you can't also help doesn't mean that you're any less than or less deserving if you're maybe handicapped for some reason. You
We're
know,
all,
you have
we're
a
all
talent somewhere else that the people who are physically capable have, and then you know what I'm saying? Like we all fit into this puzzle.
Well, yes, we all have commonality in our humanity. We're
Right,
all human beings. And
right.
like I said, and we all have our level of gifts and abilities. And if we would just focus on that and also languages. I mean, our country is so shit about that. I get embarrassed all the
Well, that was
time.
my point earlier. I
Yeah,
said, you want to say, be in America, speak English, but y'all can't even read
I know.
English, let alone write
Read
it.
or write or even comprehension. I mean, that's another huge thing. So, they're, like I said, and I exposed to it because I had a sister that lived all over the world and with her kids, and they got fabulous educations. We
Yeah.
we just like started. We're just on this road for the almighty dollar, and screw everybody else. But like I said, it's going to implode because they didn't get there all on their own rich silver spoon merit. You
Yeah.
know. So it's going to give. It's going to
What if
give. I
we
do have
hold, what
faith.
if we hold, there's gotta be, well, because it's like under religious, whatever. I was gonna say if we hold people accountable for doing circumcisions, like, can we start calling that what it is and have it stop here for, fine, we can't retroactively change anything, but can we have it stop? Can we all agree that that's not necessary for any religion?
Yeah, I mean, you get absolutely. I think the only people that you would have, I mean, it's all free will. I do believe in free will and choice, and so I don't want to stop anybody
But the
from.
child does not have free will and choice.
No, the child does not, and you're right. But no child at 16 is going to go, "Hey, man, I've been getting a lot of infections. I think I better get snipped." That's not going to happen either. So, to me, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. I don't. I think with the religious aspect of it, I think just on a personal level and through communities of people, you could get that message out there that truly it is unnecessary. And but here we go back to education. But then you're going to have the people that don't realize that, well, you need to teach that child how to keep himself clean so he doesn't get infections. So
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say.
it just keeps snowballing. It's going to
Well,
snowball.
if the girls can figure it out, why can't the boys? We have just as tricky of a
Bingo. I
pH
don't know. Why can't
situation.
because of
We
the
act like we can't teach men anything. We can.
oh, I taught. Come on, yes, we can. And I did with my adult children. They're all in their 40s, except for my youngest. But either way, they learned to cook and clean and do laundry and make their beds and everything like everybody else. I never saw, but then I do know I have friends that have like, well, that's a boy thing or this is a girl thing. And since I hear that, it makes me insane
It makes me
because
insane too.
I was like, well, I did a lot of things. I had a father that had me, and I'm so grateful now that all the mechanical and electrical and all the things I know how to do. So grateful. But at the time, I was a freak that I tried to get into wood shop when I was in high school, and they wouldn't let me take wood shop. Oh, girls can't go in there. And I just loved the smell when I'd walk by and they're in there doing stuff and
Yeah,
turning
my
things.
dad was a woodworker, and I loved
Yeah.
that as well, which that's so not cool.
I know. And I went in there and they're like, no, you can't, just take home ec. And I'm like, I already know. My mama taught me how to cook. I even know how to sew. Why can't I take something I don't know how to do?
Here,
You know?
this might illuminate and prove our point. We have a channel 15.5. It goes from our heart, my heart, to your root, maybe? Or is that which G? No, your G center. I thought the heart was the G center.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I'm going to grab something here.
Gate 15 is located in the G center, is also known as the gate of extremes or the gate of love of humanity. That's me. I have that.
I like that. I
And then
have.
you have the gate 5 situated, it's in your sacral center. Okay, so the heart is the G center. Yours is in the sacral center, which is above the root.
Yeah.
Your sacral is like your gut, your
Your solar
intuition.
plexus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your solar plexus. I've got
Carries
my
energy
chart
for
over there.
consistency, regularity, and routine.
Mm-hmm.
Your gate is also known as the gate of fixed rhythms, represents the need for predictability and regularity in daily routines. This energy manifests as a need for consistent patterns and schedules, promoting stability and predictability.
Yeah, that's pretty Taurus of me. Yeah, that's that fits. That definitely fits.
The
I want
blend
to
of
look
these.
at. I heard something today. Have you done your birth chart astrologically? Because I heard something today that in your 12th house, that is where you identify your enemies. And so I was trying.
Huh.
I got to. Yeah, I'd never heard that before, and it was an astrologist that I follow, and I like her. She's got cred. So I thought I'm
I
going to
bet
look
if
at that.
anything, it'll tell me it's my dad's friends.
I'm dying to. I've got. That's what I was going to say. I got to pull up. I have a printed out chart. I'm going to look and see
Men
what.
who respect my father are probably the ones who hate me the most.
Sad.
And that's just on period. The blend of these contrasting energies in the 15.5 channel. But I bet that's a lot of girls with dads who have money.
Yeah.
Anyway. This can lead to a fascinating dynamic. On one hand, there's the fluctuating diverse energy of gate 15. On the other hand, there's the consistency and routine-based energy of gate 5. This creates a push-pull dynamic that can result in an unusual rhythm that's both consistent and unpredictable.
Yep.
You know what's consistent and unpredictable that I think it might be referring to is unconditional love.
Do we really want to go there?
Well, we need to. People don't think it's real.
Unconditional love. That's a real interesting concept because I don't.
Because love can be used as a manipulation.
Yeah, I don't think there is such a thing. Even, oh, would you love your babies? And you know what? Um, yes, you love your children, but it's not unconditional. I mean, I'm sure that if Charlie Manson's mom had been a regular human being and not a prostitute and all that shit, I bet you she would have, gone, oop. I mean, I love you, son, but what the hell are you doing? Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
So
I always like to say that
having love, I don't believe it can be unconditional. Not even
well,
the.
'cause here's where I'm coming from. Because I believe that both of my parents, I think a lot of my family has unconditional love for one another. But I also know that all of my family are not going to act in a certain way that's going to like sever who they are, sever their soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you were to sever your soul, then you're somebody else now. And that person maybe isn't getting my unconditional love. But it's all subjective because severing your soul, I think people think if you're gay, that's severing your soul.
Well,
You know what I'm
define to me
saying?
what do you meaning? What are you meaning by severing your soul? What would define that for me?
Doing some evil act that would result in the love being
Oh,
conditional.
okay. So yeah, I don't know. No matter what, life is all circumstance and what's happening around us. And so, like you said, anything unconditional, I just don't think it exists. I don't believe it. I just don't, because things constantly change. We constantly change every day. I mean, you wake up and you're alive again, and you're a new, fresh person every day. Even though you're bringing all your baggage with you, you still get a fresh start every day, right? So to say something is unconditional, no, I'm sorry. I mean, I've had people that and I'm sure everybody goes through this, where you've had a relationship in your life where this person walked on water for you, and eventually cracks happen, and then you see something, or something goes on, and then that person that was just the idol, you had such idolatry for, becomes human and flawed and frail, and maybe even not worth your time anymore. So I don't know. I don't think there's
So
anything
you're saying that
unconditional.
you do not have unconditional love for your daughter and your granddaughter?
I No, I love them. I just can't put the word unconditional on it. What if my daughter beat the shit out of my granddaughter for no good reason? I would be in a car in a hot second to go up there to beat her ass. So it's just like, so there's no, to say unconditional, it's just, I don't know. That's like saying I can fart rainbows and unicorns. Come on. It's just some shit that ain't gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen. It's just not. So I can say I love them. I love them with every fiber of my being. I do. But I can't say it's unconditional, because what if you do something fucked up to me? What if you decide to go, oh, mama, my mom did this or mine did that, or call me up and just tell me, whatever. Things happen, people change, circumstances change, people react positively, negatively, they just do their thing. So unconditional, nah. I love them. That should be enough. To say it's unconditional puts, like you said, a manipulation, a weight on it, something that's going to create, I mean, performance anxiety. How am I supposed to act if I unconditionally loved you?
So
How am
you
I
don't
supposed to act?
unconditionally love yourself either.
No, good God, no. You know what? Because I've done so much self-reflection. I love myself now, but I had to go through the dark night of the soul many times over to figure out and truly gain perspective on what I am and what I am not. Okay.
Mm.
And reconcile very great decisions and horrendously horrible bad decisions I've made in my life. But it makes me who I am. So I accept that. In hindsight's always 2020. You can look back and go, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. But then, was that the path you were supposed to take? If your journey in life here is to learn, then the mistakes are probably more vital than the easy wins. I mean, what do you remember more, the struggle, or the, here you go, freebie. I know how that is. So yeah, interesting concept, unconditional love. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. Love is love. If you got to put conditions on it, then even unconditional, too much pressure.
Mm.
I mean, in betrayal. I mean, think about it. People betray people all the time. And that's the whole thing with forgiveness. I have a hard time with forgiveness. I really, really do. I don't, I try. I always see, and this has always been me because of who I am and being a middle child on top of it too. We're always the brokers, the ones that want to keep everything balanced. So I do see sides. I do recognize when people have done things, and I'll say, okay, well, is it about why? Why did this happen? Where did it come from? All those things. And so I will look at that and try to see that perspective, but it still doesn't lessen the hurt. It doesn't take away the blow just because you understand. So that's where I struggle. I mean, sometimes, and like you said, you can think you're healed and you've moved on from something, and then you get a trigger, and all that is right back in your face in a nanosecond. So, yeah, there ain't nothing unconditional. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That would mean an absolute, wouldn't it? If you said that love was unconditional, that that's an absolute. Are there any absolutes in society other than birth and death? What else is absolute?
Well, they say taxes, but that's not true.
No, that's bullshit to say. They say that, so we'll pay them. So I see right through that one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, taxes, sure.
Yeah, I just am of the belief that unconditional love does exist. So I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
No, that's fine. I get it. I get it. It's just not in my life experience. I mean, like I said, because of where I have had to place things in my life, I just don't know. I don't see it. You fall out of love and in love every day. People do all the time. So
Yeah, but I feel like I just have an unconditional love for humanity in maybe a detrimental way, but I think that's also just
well,
what
yeah.
you know,
Okay. So
the gift
if you
maybe.
all right, if you were expanding the view, if you're making it a bigger picture, then I could say, I thought we were talking about like intimacy, like close relationships. That I don't see. But if you're talking about, yes, I absolutely, it's one of the reasons why I went into history. I'm fascinated by the human race. And so unconditionally, I do love that. I could say that in a great expanse. I'm just saying, in a close, personal, tight relationship, I don't want to label anything unconditional because I don't think that happens. I'm sorry. Call me a cynic, but
No,
shit
to your
happens.
point, I was thinking, I do, not only for the human race, but also for the earth and
Absolutely.
the, the spirit, the magic, the all of it, the wonder. But say I was put on this planet and it was like with the weather, well, you figure out how to live with it, I think. Like, can you be put in, like, people who don't kill themselves are hanging on to something. And what is that? Is it not the hope that unconditional love is out there, or just is it just love?
I think if you're saying you're seeking unconditional love, I think you're setting yourself up to fail. You just need to seek love, and love has many, many forms. I mean, it's just not one thing. How do you define love? What is that? I love my dogs, but I don't love them the way I love a human being, and then I love human beings separately. Some I love because of I've known them for a long time. They're good friends, or like I said, I love this person because I gave birth to you. I grew you in my belly. All that kind of stuff. So there's different forms of love.
Yeah, I think the argument is like I can't give unconditional love to everyone all the time because bad things happen or trust is severed, or like that's not anybody's default, which I find very interesting because I think that's my default. And yeah, people have burned me and done things, and that doesn't make me care for them as a human being any less. Like, of course, I don't want the girl that triggers me all the time and is blocked on all my social media to walk up and I don't want to see her in person ever. Do I want her to die? No. I,
Exactly.
I don't care. But also, she didn't really, if I had been assaulted in some really horrible, maybe I would feel that way.
Yeah. Like I said, it's circumstance. There's more to it. Just to try to pigeonhole anything and just say it's this. It's just not. It's not the way it is. We have too much. There's too much inputs of all kinds of things in our life to just say that this is absolutely it. This is it. This is the one thing. Nah, nah. I don't believe that. I can't.
I'm just saying it's not like an absolute. I'm saying that like we could grow into that as like a society, I think.
Yeah, I definitely need a lot of growth. That's for sure. And, and like I said, the what you were saying earlier, we have to think globally. We're not just
Mhm.
little isolated countries anymore. We need to be looking at this whole damn planet before we before it all goes. I think it's rebelling. Did you ever you know who George Carlin was, right? And he had a great, I went and saw him in concert, and he did this whole bit about how the earth is not going to be destroyed. It's going to destroy us. And I was like,
Yeah,
you
completely.
know, Yeah, it's just going to take back because it's going to shake off and do what it needs to do. This massive,
It
I
doesn't need
switched.
us. It doesn't
Uh,
need us.
I would
Doesn't
take.
want us. We're actually more harmful than anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're just
Well,
simply
yes.
dwelling on it, So
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We also have channel 2 and 14.
cool.
I have 2 and you have 14.
5 change. Ooh, my candle's burning down.
In the fascinating world of human design, the 214 channel plays an integral role in certain individuals' energetic blueprint. Yes, they all do. This channel, often referred to as the beat, get into it.
Interesting.
The beat links the G center, gate 2, the direction of self, to the sacral center, gate 14, 14, love, Valentine's Day, the
Huh.
power of self.
Huh. Power of self.
Yeah. This channel represents the flow of energy from individual identity and direction to personal power and workforce energy. It symbolizes a compelling drive for survival, where material and sensual desires are nurtured through self-expression and contribution to the collective. Individuals with this channel defined are often driven by their internal rhythms. They can uniquely combine their identity and personal power to achieve their material goals and desires.
Cool.
Oh,
Cool. I like that.
known as the beat, is a potent symbol of an individual identity and personal power. Its influence is felt in many aspects of life, including career, relationships, personal growth, and health. Understanding the dynamics of this channel can often profound insights into an individual's unique energetic blueprint, enhancing self-awareness and personal understanding. Moreover, the interaction with other elements can add depth and nuance to this understanding, creating a holistic picture of the individual's energetic makeup.
Mm-hmm. I like that. What is
Love.
that called again? I want to look that up. What is that called that you're doing?
Human design.
Human design. Human design. And of course, oh, there's my pen.
59 to 6.
I'm gonna look that up. Human design.
Okay, now this channel goes from. We should also teach human design, I think, in education. I think that would be really helpful for people.
Yeah, and how to balance a checkbook.
Human design and then astrology. No checkbooks. Nobody's using a checkbook.
That's true. That's true. What am I thinking? See how old I am. That was the kind of stuff. We had a class like that. It was called Teen Living. Back in high school, you had to take it. It was required. And it
Yeah,
was
that's
all that
indoctrination
stuff, how
more
to
than
open a
anything.
bank account, how to get a credit card, which at that point in time,
Well, when women didn't have
females
access
couldn't
to
get a
getting their
credit
own credit
card.
cards, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we couldn't get a credit card until it was like, well, it was sometime when
Couldn't
I
wear
was,
pants in the Senate.
huh?
They couldn't wear pants in the Senate when Jurassic Park became released.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. 1973 was when we got to wear pants in school. Before that, we always had to. They even did that thing where you had to get down on your knees and they would make sure your skirt was X amount of inches off the floor. It couldn't be too short. They used to do that junk. And that
I'm sorry
all
if I
went away. That was
disconnect you.
public
I'm
school.
sorry if I disconnect you, but I'm so angry.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, this is interesting. I don't know what this means, but for the last channels that we've been talking about, they have been connected to my G center, which is like my open center, which is my
Mhm.
heart.
Right.
And my other open center is my throat,
Okay.
my voice. They're directly connected. Now, this next thing that I'm going to talk about is connected to my sacral center, which we were
Okay.
just talking about with you.
Right.
But my sacral center is not open, so I'm just curious what that means, or if that means anything.
Yeah.
Now, your sacral center, you have a lot of centers. Almost all of your centers are open. I only have two.
Hmm. Not
And okay, so
surprised.
we're connecting on a channel where neither one of our centers are open.
Hmm.
So I have 59 and you have 6. The 59 6 channel in human design is also known as the channel of mating. Gate 59, comprising of gate 59, the gate of sexual creativity, and gate 6, the gate of conflict. Oh, interesting. This channel forms an integral part of the system's sacral center, a fundamental aspect that plays a crucial role in relationships, particularly romantic and sexual connections.
Uh-huh.
It's all about overcoming. What I don't understand. Channel 6 being the gate of, what was it? Conflict?
Conflict. That's what I thought you said.
I think that's what I said. Okay. This
But
channel's
you know what? I
emphasis.
kind of savvy that though, because if you think about it, I had a lot of friends that as soon as I got involved with them in that way, it ruined it. It was
Yeah,
like, oh
I
my
mean, I
God,
think,
you were a great friend, and then we got like this, and it's just totally changed it and ruined it. So
yeah, for
I
sure.
kind of get this.
Wait, let me read that again. The gate of conflict
Hmm. Gate of conflict. Interesting.
with the sexual creativity gate.
Interesting.
That's an interesting channel. I've never thought really about
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, to me, I instantly heard in my head duality. So that's what they
why not
say.
both? The secret third option. Why not both?
Yep.
That's
Duality.
what I always say that AI can't do. AI can't do the secret third option. They can't go from A to C.
No.
And I don't want them to. It's fine. That's our job.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't need them to.
It's
That's what improv is. We need humans to keep. Oh God, they're gonna do improv, aren't they? We're gonna give them sentient. Oh Jesus Christ! I already give like inanimate objects sentience in my brain, so it's like, God damn it.
Oh my God, you're hilarious.
I'm the problem. It's me.
You're not a problem. You just have a
I'm the
you,
problem.
you just have a very interesting mind in you. I mean, I think it's fantastic. I mean, curiosity did not kill the cat. Well, what is it? Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought him back. You know, and I totally believe in that. Totally believe in that. I mean, like I said, there's so much of this beautiful world to explore and to learn about, and peoples and things. It's just why keep yourself pigeonholed into just this little tiny space and think that's what the that's the other thing to complain about with Americans. We don't travel enough. We just we have this massive country, but we don't go to foreign countries, and you
You
can't
know what
count
I would
Mexico
love to
or Canada.
do? I want to rebrand what is going to be left of the U.S. Because, all that land down there is going to go to Mexico. I think a lot of the land, like North Dakota, South Dakota, that needs to go to Canada. We need all this area up here because that's where the children are being taken. And Oklahoma. Like, there's places where we know it's happening.
Yeah.
Get them away from America. Give them to the other countries because that's where the problems are. But there's going to be a little bit left that we can still do our own thing. But I would like to give it to the Native Americans personally. But
Yeah. Well, I
whatever.
don't
But
know.
also
Is
the
it going to be much?
places.
Do you know of Edgar Casey?
Who?
Edgar Casey. He was called the Sleeping Prophet. His name was Edgar Casey. And he did a lot of readings, prophecy. He would lay down and come out with these things. And he came out with a map of the United States because there's going to be, I don't know, probably from the global warming, and there's not a whole lot left of a lot of portions of the West. California's mostly gone, a few islands. way up the Mississippi area, all this stuff. There's just, you should find it. It's a really cool
Clairvoyant.
map.
Ooh, love that word. Love that. Clairvoyant.
Clairvoyant. He was definitely the sleeping prophet. Very interesting man to read about. And the things he say. I mean, he's up there. Well, they kind of compare him to Nostradamus, but Nostradamus was different than him. But
I
both.
don't know who Nostradamus is. It sounds like Nosferatu.
Oh, Nostradamus was a famous prophet back in the day. Let me see, Catherine de Medici. So we're saying what, the 1500s, 16th century possibly. And he came up with these, they're called quatrains. They're all poems, basically lines. And it was all predicting the future. And so many of them have been, he's been interpreted and have come true. Yeah, fascinating. I'm surprised you haven't heard of Nostradamus. That's somebody else you need to look up, girl. Really
So,
interesting.
okay.
Just
So,
like Jean Dixon back in the day. Jean Dixon was a prophetess, and she told Kennedy not to go to Dallas, and he didn't listen. And guess what happened? Boom, boom, bang, bang, all over that.
Nostradamus, French astrologer, apothecary, physician, and seer.
Michel de Nostradamus. I think that was his
Michel,
something. No.
his father's family had originally been Jewish,
Mm-hmm.
but had converted to Catholic Christianity.
The Inquisition. What a show. You got to remember that's why they converted. Thank you, Mel Brooks. No, he did all kinds of cool things. He really interesting. In his quatrains, I have his book around here somewhere, and Edgar Casey's as well. Sylvia Brown is another one, and I know she got a lot of ragging and discredited towards her, but you know what? This is the thing. But people have to understand that even the greatest prophets are not
They're
supposed.
not celebrated.
Well, and on top of that too, you're not supposed to know everything. You're given visions, but you have to decipher them. You're not supposed to know everything.
Why not? What's wrong with
The way
knowing
it works.
everything?
Because we just don't. Because we're just humans squatting on this planet. We're not supposed to have all knowing. We're here to learn. So if we already knew everything, why the hell would we choose to be here?
Oh,
I would.
okay. I think maybe we will never know everything because everything's always growing. It's like infinite.
Oh yes, well everything, absolutely. So we will never, ever. You could study your whole life and still not. You know.
Maybe that's where people cut it short. They're like, well, if I can't know everything, why do I know anything?
Why bother?
Why bother?
Hmm?
Because I like to think of being on Star Trek. You ever watch Star Trek?
I love it. It was my favorite
Next
show.
Generation.
I'm a huge Trekkie fan. I am not a Star Wars. I'm a Trek. Come on. It's my generation.
And
So yes.
they just would go through the sky in a spaceship, meeting different types of living beings, and just trying to like learn.
Hmm.
It's awesome.
They're out there too. My father worked
I
for.
know they are, and I
They're
know one of
definitely
them's trying to
there.
talk to me.
Yeah. Well, and
One, maybe more
I'm
than
an
one.
experiencer. We could talk about that sometime too, because I'm an experiencer. I definitely am. And my father worked for NASA
Because
for
I think
years.
about ghosts and aliens very similarly. I
They
know
do,
they're different, but
because
they're both
it's about vibration and all
exactly.
that, and so it's being able to cross those boundaries.
Yes, exactly.
So you're right, at least in my experience.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've always said, like, when I talk to ghosts or whatever, because consent is important, and for whatever reason, ghosts are consenting beings. Because if you say leave, they do.
Hmm.
I think aliens, I mean, I never want to be scared. If I'm going to learn something, all I ask, don't frighten me with the truth.
Mm.
I don't want to be I don't want to be scared. There's a way to have this conversation where we can both come to the table calmly
Hmm.
and go, what do you have to say? This is what I think, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to be yelling at each other. We don't have to be scaring each other. That's what my TikTok is doing right now, is trying to scare me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Well,
I've asked to see everything. I've had that talk with God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm consenting to know all the deepest, darkest shit
Mm-hmm.
so that we can shine a light on it. I've consented to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hear horrible stories. I don't want to see horrible things. I know that they exist. I don't want to see them.
Mm-hmm. As long as you accept the reality of it, there is no, it's that, well, I'm seeing two things. The herd mentality where, you see the pack of zebras, they're running, 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 and the lion takes one down and they all just stop and go, cool, it was Phil, not me this time. Or, so there's the herd mentality attitude. And then what was the other thing? I saw something else popped in my head. Oh, well, came and went.
Sylvia Brown grew up in Kansas City, Missouri.
Mm-hmm. She used to be on a talk show for year, I think in the 80s. She was on a talk show a lot with God, what was his name? I can't think of the guy's name. It was a black guy. Anyway, she was on a lot, and that's when I first saw her. And I've read a couple of her books, and very very interesting woman. So we still have, we do have a lot of prophet people. I'm
Yeah.
talking when I was talking earlier about Marcus Aurelius. I'm talking more about the philosophers. That's what I'm not seeing so much anymore is the philosophers. But like I said, I could just be not looking in the right places.
Well, they're being hidden, or we're not talking about them,
Suppressed or whatever. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea.
or they're being taken credit for by something else, or suppressed, or blah 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 blah.
Especially if they were female. Yeah, I mean, come on. Come on. Hmm. Well, I have another ghost. You want to hear another ghost story?
Sure.
This is a cool one. I was living it was old like dairy farm housing where I grew up was Dairy Valley. And anyway, there was three houses down this driveway, and I was at the very back house. And then there was one right across from me, and then there was one up front. When the one right across from me, we shared a mutual driveway, and got to know the chick that lived there, loved her. We had coffee every morning, right? And she had a young daughter. And one morning I got up and we just had a signal we'd open our doors when we were ready to communicate. And I open up my door and I look and there's a picture. It looks like a picture on her front door. And I'm looking at it going, what the hell? Why is that picture on her door? And I see, and it's a woman, and she has blonde hair, and it looks like it's pulled back in a ponytail. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I'm just totally puzzled by this. And I just go, well, okay. And I walked off to do something, and I came back, and the picture wasn't there. And I went, okay, that's freaking weird. She opens her door later. I talked to her about it. She has no clue, but says to me she's always caught things out of the corner of her eye in her home. And I
Right.
went, girl, that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Well, time goes by. They end up moving away. A new couple moves in, and they move into the house. And there was people that lived down the driveway and across the street. They knew them, and these people had been there, like lived there for decades. And they went over to have dinner with these people one night, and I'm home, and all of a sudden I hear the woman, her name was Sherry, and she's literally screaming my name because I had told them about what I saw on the door. And anyways, and I'm like, what the hell? And she's screaming. So I'm like, what's going on? She goes, you will not believe this. She goes, I told the people about, the people across the street about what you saw on the door. And they said, oh my God, do you not know who used to live there? And they're like, no.
Um,
And before my friend moved in there was a guy and his girlfriend. They said they were bikers, like that means anything. But either way, they lived there, and he had gone to work, and was home, and she had OD'd, and her body was right in front of that door. And when he came home, he couldn't even get in the house. So he had to break a window and get in. But the thing was, she was a blonde who always wore her hair back in a ponytail.
hmm.
So I'm going, okay, why did I see her? But there was no message. She said nothing. So once again, was it an imprint? I think it was because it was right on that door. So not a haunting per se, but an imprint from her ODing and trying to get out and get help. And like I said, and dying in front of that door.
Wow.
So that was another one. I mean,
I have two dream scenarios where I've died.
Really? But that doesn't
But
usually mean you're dying. That doesn't usually mean you're dying.
well, similar to how you said you fell into a well.
Yeah.
So I think these might be something similar like that. I have always like at the and a lot of I think kids probably have had this, but I had a very clear vision of it the other night and it scared me.
Hmm.
And I felt like I had um what's it called? Astral projected
Yes.
into
Okay.
somebody's memory.
Interesting.
So I always have felt at the top of a stairwell, like a very, regular stairwell in any house. I always have a panicked moment of somebody right at the bottom chasing me. And I think the conclusion of that and that fear is that I didn't get away. That was the last moment of running for my life.
You know what I'm seeing? They're showing me you were basically kind of thrown down the stairs.
Interesting. I think probably.
No, yeah, I'm seeing it, Betsy. And uh, yeah, there was somebody came up. You were up the stairs, but it's not you. It's a different person. And they came up, and there was an altercation, and boom, 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 down.
See, I
Um,
was probably
do you,
pregnant too.
oh, they're saying, do you notice bruises sometimes in odd places on your body, and you don't know where they came from? Okay, see, because they're telling me you get bruises from where you were injured. That will come back.
Yeah,
That's something.
that I totally get because I've had moments of like going through injuries and like learning about them spiritually and what they mean like for your past lives or the energy that's being carried forward or whatever. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying about the circumcision of it all. That energy gets reproduced and remembered throughout humanity. It's like we can't pretend like a pregnant woman being fucking thrown around, beaten, thrown down the stairs, being chased up the stairs and murdered isn't gonna have some sort of lasting effect on everybody. And then there's another one where I'm running in my own home and I'm locking doors, trying to keep somebody out.
Hmm.
And I always don't get to the door in time. I don't get the lock in time. And I'm sure that's another one.
Um,
If it's not the same one.
that's something unresolved.
Well, I used to have that dream when I was in college is when that was really big because I had herpes and I wasn't telling my partner and it was like this guilt, guilt, guilt,
Yeah,
guilt,
I was going
guilt.
to say
Yeah.
because that's what they're telling me that second one, the first one was a genetic memory, is what you have, and then
Ooh.
this one seems to be an unresolved issue that you're carrying. That's what my guides are saying anyway. That you have an unresolved. There's something you're struggling with. Man, I just burnt the hell out of my thumb.
Yeah.
My
I
fist
don't
was
have that
burning up
dream
there before.
anymore. I don't really I think I've grown out because I have come to an understanding of what these dreams mean and I feel like they don't scare me as much as they used to. I've definitely like grown a lot and worked on those fears for a
Yeah.
long time.
Because that's what it's there for. And like I said, it's funny that we started very much on when I started talking about fear. Fear is the basis for all issues. It's the bottom line. So that's good
Right.
that you're recognizing this. And so instead of being frightened, say, okay, what am I supposed to learn here? What am I being shown? What do I need to learn? What is being taught to me? And take the fear out of it. And like I said, it takes a lot of practice though. Because I mean,
I
we're
also
we are fight or flight animals, face it.
yeah.
So our natural reactions to many things is fear and get me out of here. I'm done. I'm out. Kind of thing. Oh man, I really got myself good.
Yeah.
But interesting.
Oh my God, I love talking to you. It's been 2 hours.
Has it? Oh my
It's almost noon.
gosh. Yeah, I've enjoyed it very much. And if you ever want to talk about other things, let me know. I
Well,
enjoy
I
it.
would
I
love
think,
to make this a reoccurring thing if you have the schedule for it. I think this is a fun, necessary conversation.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I'd love to. I'd love to, as long as you don't get her out of there. Who the fuck is that bitch? Just say, no, see, that's me. That's the old me, because I was never supposed to be
You,
who I was, and now I get to be who I am. Isn't that great? I love being who I
you know
am.
who's no scary adventures is?
Who? Oh, yes. I talked on her show one time. She had me on. She has a podcast as well. She does cool stuff.
Do I
Nice lady.
follow this person?
I'm not
I
seeing feed.
can't, but
Oh,
maybe I
I
can.
didn't. Oh, all this time I didn't see all this. See, I wasn't even
And
looking at
then,
anything.
nobody's really been in here, but I'm gonna. Sorry, I'm burping a lot.
Well, things happen, don't they? Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm gonna post this on my page. Hopefully, if the Mercury retrogrades are looking favorably on me.
We could talk about too. I definitely would like to talk about, the astral travel because
Yes.
I've been practicing and getting better at it all the time. I've been taking because I took a course with Richard Knight of the Tarot Academy. I'm a member of that, but also I took a class with Uri Geller, who's the spoon bending guy. You know who he is? Ooh, that's
No.
another one you should look up. Uri Geller. Anyway, and we worked on astral projection and
How do you spell
travel.
Yuri?
Uri, Yuri, and a Geller, Uri Geller.
You're saying a lot of men. Like you're making me write down a lot of men. Do you have any women that I can?
Well, I
They're
told you
much
about
more.
Sylvia Brown. Let me see. Who else is I gotta look at my books over here.
Well, when you think of it,
I get you a
in
list,
yes,
yeah. I
yes.
was just thinking of prophets at the time, and of course, these are ancient prophets, and who was published back in the day? Men. Women were published later on, but a lot of them had to use male names. Come on, we know that. There was breakthroughs later on, probably like Mary Shelley, maybe.
And
I
they got
don't know.
literally stolen from as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
That's honestly, I think, why Taylor Swift is so important because of her buying back her own property moment. It's very powerful.
oh yeah, I think she seems well. I don't know a lot about her, but I do what I've seen seems to be a good human being. A good person, and just not out there.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I think people change. I mean, people change. Things happen. Things happen, and uh, and it's possible. I mean, a lot of people say people don't change. Well, yeah, they do.
I
They
think
can,
I
but
think it
they're
takes
always
time for people. I think some people take longer to change.
yeah. And some people change,
It's
but
a
then there's
learned skill.
and there's a lot of reverting back as well. It depends on what the motivation was for the change in the first place,
You
right?
got to take accountability and you have to admit when you're wrong, and that's hard to do. And also, for a long time, we got punished for doing that.
Oh hell, I mean, I admitted I was wrong for shit when I even wasn't because I was felt like I had to do that to keep the peace. This is how I was trained, as a child. So I mean, that's another thing to talk about of what people put in kids' heads.
Yeah.
And instead of allowing them to be themselves, that was the one thing I always wanted all of my children to be who they are and what they want and be happy. I mean, any of us can go get jobs and just be miserable and hate it and all that stuff. And the ones that truly can do what they love and enjoy are the most wonderful, lucky, happy creatures on the planet. And
Mm.
single and single
I kind
women.
of want to do like a tarot poll.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we could do that. I could do a reading for you. We could do one on here and show people. And
You ever
a
do a
lot of people
card a
really
day?
don't know. Huh?
We have like 3 minutes before it's noon, so while we're wrapping up, cool, you want to do like a card pull for the day or something?
You want to see something? Okay. Well, let me get my little deck here. What do you want me to ask? Just energy
Anybody in
for
the
the day?
chat? Anybody have a question? I kind of just want to see what it says.
All right, let's see what I got. Let's see what the energy is. What do you got?
If the energy has something to say, I'd like to hear what it
Okay,
is.
cool, cool. There we go. That's good. All right. So that's in my head. So what do you do?
That's usually what I think about when I do tarot
Yep.
and
That's,
when I read for people.
uh-huh. Let's see what we got going on here. So, tell me, give me a message for today. What do you think is
If you
going on?
have one, if
Woo.
you don't have to have one. Also, sometimes I think sometimes there's no message. Like I'll shuffle my cards.
Well, sometimes I get like I did my reading for today. It was merely an affirmation. It was just merely an affirmation saying, okay, you're doing the right thing, get this on, and this might come in to just recognize. I mean, that's all it was. And plus, I'm doing a general anyway, so when I'm doing generals, it's just whatever rando hits me. This is
I
interesting.
also don't love my decks.
Bottom of
I
the
need
deck, we
to
got the Four of Pentacles. This is good,
the
stable.
four what?
The another four, two fours, Four of Swords. Nine of Pentacles, interesting. And the Nine of Wands. Two fours and two nines.
You were saying 9 earlier.
1, 3, yeah. That's interesting. 9, 12, 13. 1 and 3 is 4 again. Interesting. Stability. This is all very positive. It's showing stability, happiness, actually mental ease, and looking at what you've grown and what you've created and what's going on. It's a very positive message. It's just an affirmation. Looks like we're getting the thumbs up here. Because this is all stability and control. That's actually hanging on to your money being good. Giving your mind a rest, being in your happy place, and owning what you did. So it's a nice message. Nice
Owning
message.
what you did.
Owning what you did, looking at what you've created in your life and where you're
Dude,
going from here.
throwing the babies, that really is going to stick with me.
They were burning them.
Burning the babies,
They
sorry.
were burning them. I saw they were taking them down and going through a tunnel, and there was a big fire, and they were just throwing them on the fire.
That's so
I don't.
demented.
Yeah, and probably, hopefully, they were stillborn infants. I'm hoping that's what it was, but I don't know. But yeah, that's something I'll carry to my grave. Because I can. That's like really the biggest thing I can conjure from that whole thing, and I think
Does
it went
that
on.
make it better if they were stillborns?
Does it
Is
make
there
me what?
not more humane way to deal with that?
Oh, you would assume. You would assume, of course, but I believe it was the prostitutes' babies. And I'm sure that's what it was. I know that's what it was. And so they were just doing that. I don't know.
Bang, 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 bang.
I guess you got to go out and explain if you got to take some infant out and go bury it somewhere and give it a Christian burial. They probably thought they didn't deserve that
Right, exactly.
because of
Oh
where
my
they
God.
came
And
from.
then see you want to burn their babies.
Yeah. That's like I said, I'm hoping they were stillbirths, but I don't know. But either way,
That's so
that's what
horrible.
that's what that's what John decided to share with me, that's for sure.
Johnny boy. They're
Oh, and
all
he kept
named John.
I do
John
remember
Doe.
John the Piper's son, he stole the pig and away did run. He kept saying that to me. I remember that as well. He kept saying, John the Piper's son stole the pig and away did run. I looked it up. It was a rhyme from like the 1700s, and it was actually Tom the Piper's son, but he substituted his name in it. And he taunted me with that all night. And I kept wondering what's with the stole pig and away did run? Why you keep saying this, John? It was weird. It was weird. You should ask Erin. Erin saw the whole thing. She witnessed it. Like I said,
Yeah,
I have massive gaps because I mean she even told me I stood up and did shit. And I don't remember any of that.
wild.
Yeah.
Um, there's something about the coup happening recently.
The
Have you
coup.
seen that on Facebook, the Wilmington coup?
I no, don't think I
Some,
saw it. Well, I don't follow Wilmington on Facebook. I just saw where that place burnt down. There was a Greystone Manor or whatever it was, something like that. Got
yeah.
burnt. Yeah, it burnt. I saw that, but I haven't seen anything else.
I said that's probably a good thing, and Kyra was like, the people starting the restaurant, yada yada. I'm like, I don't know these people, but also that if a historical burned building, maybe it needed to be burned.
You know what? I just accept that was probably what was, that's just what was meant to be for that place. I mean, I'm
So
sorry.
on November 9th, which just passed,
Right. Okay, last
they
Sunday.
they did the Wilmington coup d'etat. It was like a historical museum thing about the coup d'etat that happened in Wilmington.
Are you talking about when they went and killed and destroyed a lot of the black population? Yeah. Okay, I know about that. Yeah.
So it was a talk exploring the Wilmington coup d'etat. Museum historian Dr. Jan Davidson will explore how an elected local government was overthrown. And there's a display of the museum's rare copies of the Daily Record,
Interesting.
which probably got destroyed.
Yeah. Was that, do you have a time frame on that? I'm trying to place the time frame
Who?
when the original occurrence happened. Was it
Yeah.
Wilmington?
Aaron sent me a documentary about it.
Hmm. Yeah, Wilmington's got quite the history. It really
It
does.
does. I think it's very
Girl,
apt
it is that
that
place is
I'm
so
here.
haunted too. You ask Aaron about Moses. There used to,
Moses.
yeah, it was a guy that was in where she used to live over there, off Oleander. She lived in one of those neighborhoods over there, and there was I saw him all the time. He'd cut through her yard. It was an older black guy, and his name was Moses, and he was going to work, probably in the 30s or something. He was just real sweet,
Interesting.
didn't want to bother anybody. And
There's
when I
probably,
was,
oh my God, we need to do a ghost hunting show.
yeah, we
Not hunting,
should.
ghost.
I should come there because we can find all kinds of shit in Wilmington. There's more there.
Then we
There's a
should go to
place.
Charleston. Then we should go to New Orleans.
See, I kept telling my husband that. I said, we're going to go up north. I said, we ought to go by Gettysburg and let me sit down and call out. And because I've done readings too for crime shows, things like that. I did with a girlfriend for a while, and that was a lot of fun. Actually, I did one on Natalie Wood, and I don't want to say what I came up with on that one, but it wasn't very good for some people what I got in that reading.
The
But
1890s.
1890s, okay, yeah, makes sense.
November 10th, 1898.
You know, that happened in a lot of places. It wasn't just Wilmington. There's been a lot of places where they went in and completely destroyed the black neighborhoods and merchants and
Well, yes, but apparently this is the only one in the history where the coup actually held.
yeah, interesting.
But that could just be what I've been told. Who
Yeah,
knows? Who
yeah.
actually was there?
But yeah, the ghost scene would be really fun because, like I said, I really wanted to go. Told my husband, I said, let's stop by Gettysburg and let me do that. Let me see if I could get any messages.
I have a
You know?
friend who's a photographer and a videographer who I could hire to come
Serious.
with us.
Because I would love to do that. But you got to help me
Well, where
though.
could
If
we
I get taken over again, you got to pull me back. Because I didn't know that shit. It was crazy. And then it
where
really
could
found
we
out.
where could we realistically go? Because right now we can't go into Husk and Tempo because we don't own it.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, it's really funny where she's at now. I haven't really felt anything, but I haven't tried either.
I
Um,
just would like to go to places where we've already felt things because it's like,
yeah. The
well,
only thing we
we
could,
could go to nowhere, but then we wouldn't talk to anybody.
yeah, no, there's got to be places. I'll have to think on that. I'll pine up on that a bit and try to figure it out, see where we could go. Because even like the Carolina too, that ship. But when
What about the battleship?
that's what I'm saying, the Carolina, yeah,
I
it
haven't
could,
been there, and that would be a great
there
experience.
might be definitely something left over in
And
there
you
for
know
sure.
what? It wouldn't hurt tourism.
No,
It
no.
would help.
Especially if I could say, if we, well, not that that's what I'm trying to do, but either way, because I go in there with an open mind to see what we can get. When I went to Europe, it was funny because I went to a lot of places, but the only place I had any kind of real experience was in Westminster Cathedral. And I had, I mean,
Well,
almost,
fucking churches are filled with
I
them for
know, and
sure.
it just overwhelmed. My knees almost gave out from
Yeah,
under
no,
me.
no,
I,
I
I
feel
got
that. I don't like being in
one of
churches for
those.
sure. Churches and schools make me very uncomfortable.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
places like that too, But yeah, too bad we can't get in the Rotabush building. But old John, see, he knows when I come in town, and he calls me. He tells
But
me.
also there's places like native lands, old schools from like when they indoctrinated those places still exist.
Yeah.
They're still standing. The
Mhm.
structures are still there.
And I don't, I don't necessarily have to be in them as just at least some kind of close proximity. I went to a place here in Knoxville. It was really interesting. It was a huge mental hospital, and they had all kinds of buildings and all this kind of stuff, and they tore them down except for the main one. But I was there walking around, and I looked over and I went, "Oh my God, she jumped." And my husband's going, "What?" Because he's with me. I went, "There was a building here. It was where the women were, and there I'm seeing her. She got through the window. There was even bars, and she worked her ass through and hit the ground." I said, "I'm wondering if that happened, because I'm sure as hell seeing it while we're here."
I'm also
So
very curious, and this is a sensitive topic. What is it called? Unaliving yourself. Let me say it that way.
yeah,
I have this working theory that I'm totally open to be proven wrong. I don't think that suicides are happening in the rate that we're being convinced that they are. Right? There's a lot of celebrities who have been self-unalived that we now know were not.
yeah,
There was this woman in my neighborhood who was hung by the swing set, found. I thankfully did not see it,
yeah.
but obviously I heard about it. Now, I don't think any woman would hang themselves in public. I just don't think that's happening. So I think she was lynched.
That sounds more like yeah, because no. I had a friend I worked with for years, and her brother had committed suicide. And although she was still in rage about it. She was so angry at him. But they were raised by psychiatrists. Oh, I love this, the quote notes. So, and then she was a hot mess. And I'm sure her brother, and they actually had written books using their kids as and anything. And so, yeah, and he unalived himself, but I don't know. I mean, I've never read their parents' books or anything like that, but I know that her perspective of being the second party to it, it was grief and then rage, and he had killed himself probably 20 years before, and she had never moved past the rage state. And I remember saying that the he was so selfish. That was the most
Mm.
selfish thing he could have done. And I'm like going, selfish. But if somebody is truly at that state of mind and they don't want to be here anymore, is it truly selfish or is it saving yourself?
Is that self-help?
Yes.
Not
I mean,
self-harm, self-love.
because I believe beyond the existence, if you're saying that harming yourself is against all conventional ideas, well, then that, to me, that says, well, then you have a very narrow vision of what exists. And so, I mean, and not that I think it's a good thing. I don't want anybody attacking themselves. I really want you to enjoy your life and live. But if it gets to that point, maybe it
I
is
just
a
think it's
form.
like yes, I'm sure that happens. I'm also sure that like overdosing, accidental drug use, all that kind of stuff is also happening. But I think sometimes we're fed a lie that something was suicide.
Oh, of course.
And
Well,
we just believe it because we're like, oh, well, of course people are killing themselves.
yeah, yeah. Boy, if I was that person, well, yeah, who knows? I mean, especially, I mean, question everything. Question
Right.
everything. I mean, I do. It's just my nature. I was taught that way. Always ask questions. Look at it. Don't take everything just for the surface of it. Dig deeper. Find out. Look for answers, which
Yeah.
is our thing. We're the answer seekers. So. Hmm, interesting. But yeah, I don't, I, if they were that bad and beyond help and somebody wants to do that, does that, I don't know. I don't know. Because I believe, like I said, in afterlife and other vibrationals and different relevant, realms of existence. So if you just leave this one, maybe it was because it's supposed to be. Maybe it was your time. to move and go into another space. Or maybe you got to go and start all over again because you did end this one and they're going to make you recycle back and try again. So, come on, it's always open to interpretation.
Yeah.
And I'm not lessening the pain for people. There's no way. That was obviously very painful for everybody involved.
Right.
But
all this
it's
stuff
only,
is painful.
well, yeah.
Just because it's painful doesn't mean we aren't allowed to talk about it. It's
We
actually
should
more
talk about
important
it.
than we
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah, we should talk about it. You know,
People think because it is so painful to it's unbearable. And I think they're right. Like if I had different circumstances, I don't know if I would have the outlook on life that I do. I'm almost certain that I wouldn't.
hmm well, of course not, because you're a summation of your existence up to this very moment. So, yeah, we can shoulda, coulda, woulda, and look back and saying, well, man, I should have taken that left at Albuquerque, I should have gone a different direction, but we choose. We choose. And that's what when you were talking about accountability, no matter what in life, what happens to you, you still choose your response, your reaction.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that part is under control. That part is control. Just like my friend, like I said, that was still carrying rage that was hurting her. So a lot of times we do and carry things and make choices that are just for pain for us. And then as far as what they say about unaliving and stuff, question everything. Who was involved? Who are why would this happen? Were they depressed? And then if it's people I don't know, celebrities or somebody, a whole lot of I'm sorry that happened, but I don't give a shit. Life will go on. This is what happens.
I'm sorry that happened and I do give a shit.
Hmm. No, I'm saying, but in the big picture, did it change anything in my life? Did it
That I
change?
gave a shit
Yeah, you just like feel bad and move on. It's just like I had no,
doesn't
I
make
didn't
it
have,
feel better when somebody else also gives a shit though.
well, yeah, but it's like sometimes you just don't have a dog in the race. You don't have anything there. You hear about it. It's something that is so out of your realm of existence that yes, I can have I have empathy.
Okay.
That's bad. I feel
We're
bad,
all
but
connected and we relive all of this live. So, for example, I had a very intense conversation with somebody yesterday, the other day, I forget. And I think, even though we were the only two people there, that conversation made a difference.
oh, of
Even
course.
if nobody hears it, having the conversation, exchanging that energy, having that vibration, right?
Yes.
It affects everything because we are now the conscious global mind,
hmm
the remembering of it all.
hmm
So I think it does. I understand up until this point, it has not been. But moving forward, it
There has
all is connected. We
in over.
all interact in these ways
hmm
that have ripple effects. Just like
but
just taking the shopping cart back to its rightful place.
right.
Now, some people argue that there are people whose job it is to do that. Now, yes, that is part of their job, but that is not their sole purpose in that job.
Yeah.
They do a lot of other stuff besides bringing the carts back. You think that's their one job? People think that's people's one job.
You have to have there has to be a separation of self. With anything in life, you have to separate the self and take care of you, no matter what the circumstance. And that's what I was meaning. It's not that I'm calloused, I don't give a shit about. I do care, but in order for me to survive and live my life and keep in the highest vibration and reality I cannot dwell on or suffer for somebody that I'm not connected to. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make a cognizant choice to move
I
forward.
think it's
Have
not
that moment,
someone you
have
don't
that
have a
moment.
connection to. it's someone that you're denying access to.
Denied access to? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I mean, I'm denied access to anybody outside of my circle. So, but it's not denied access. I just don't have access. I'm not creating access. I'm not trying to get access. So I would I wouldn't say it's denying it at all. It's just it's once again it's choice and it's self-preservation, self-reliance, all that kind of stuff. Because I mean that's the one truth I do know. We're born alone and we do die alone. I've lost, recently I've lost my parents. And we were going through, and I had this just profound moment because here was their house of what, 60 years and all their accumulation of their life. And we were selling it and throwing it in the trash and dumping it and just getting rid of it. And to me, that was just so
Traumatizing.
appalling that here was these people, that had a life and a long life and all this stuff. And now because they are gone, they're relegated to nothingness. They're relegated to goodwill and the dumpster and, whatever else anybody wanted to nitpick out of it. So that was a real, that really hit me hard.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to feel good about you and take care of you, because in the long run, you're just going to be on an auction table or, or in a dumpster and, you move on and people move on. So it was pretty, I really hadn't gone there before in my thinking about that. And then to participate in that was kind of tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
Um, I felt like I was throwing my family away.
Right.
It was hard. I could only take so much. I could only do so much. And I mean, to this day, I'm still like going, oh, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? But it's a big waste of time. It's when I get in a pity party mood.
I've started really being more intentional about material things that I attach my energy to,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of if I'm thrifting in a store shopping and something speaks to me so clearly,
Yeah.
I make sure that it leaves with me now, because before I would talk myself out of it.
No, you should. You definitely should. Anytime and I've noticed that if I put energy in something, I mean, just like one time I was at a store actually in Wilmington, and there was these amazing earrings that had been handmade by this person that were really cool. And I just hesitated because they were a little pricey for me at the time. And I went back, damn it, you never treat yourself, And so I went back to that damn shop. And as sure as shit is when I had left, somebody walked right up and bought them. And I went because I was putting so much energy and like, oh God, they're amazing. I want these so bad and blah, blah, blah. And I said, those people probably walked in there and honed right into them because I put all that positive energy on them. So when that happens, you definitely got to smack them. I was out in Tiki one time with Aaron. We were at this place and we both walked by this mirror that scared the bejeebus out of us. I mean, I walked by it and she walked by it and I went, oh my God. I said, Aaron, and I was going, don't look in that mirror. I don't know who used to look in that mirror, but we don't want any part of it. I said, keep moving.
We could also,
It just screamed horror
I
and blackness.
had a brilliant idea.
Tell me.
We're gonna go thrifting
I love to go thrifting. I would love to go.
instead of going to haunted places. And we can highlight the local thrift shop. I think they would really go for that.
That would be cool, seriously. That's a great idea. I hadn't even
think we
thought
could-
about that one. That's a
The
good
way
idea.
that we keep history and fashion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be cool. I should bring, but I've got all kinds of stuff here too. I've got all kinds of costumes. My
Okay,
mother's
so I
always-
think Revival Cult is what I want to hit up first. They were they walked for Fashion Week and they had the best reaction for sure.
Nice.
They had the best styling and the best taste. So I think they would be a good one. There's also the Vintage Values, and JP works at one of them, but the one next to where I get my hair done has a pretty good energy of new, interesting things, and the person that's buying them. The one that JP works at has no personality.
Hmm.
I go there and it's like, yeah, this is old stuff, but it's like, why are we saving it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get that.
You know, it has no story or personality or creativity. It's kind of just like, nah.
Like a garage sale. It's like, really? This is shit you just don't want to haul to the dump.
Yeah, I know it's bad. Anyway, so Fashion Cult, I don't know what your schedule's like. I have to drum up. She's $250. I'm sorry to like put her on blast. I guess I shouldn't have done that. You gotta pay money. You
Yeah, I
gotta
was
pay
gonna
money.
say. And next time I get to Wilmington, we'll definitely plan it. I mean, I've got to write out these holidays. I mean, I got so much junk going on, and I'm in the midst of remodeling a bathroom by myself. Taking a break
Fun.
today, though. Yeah, it's actually turned out really good.
I love
Um,
remodeling.
I've done well. I've completely painted this entire house by myself and tiled downstairs, and I'm doing stuff. I like doing it. It's all the stuff that paid off by having a father that had no sons. So as much as I resented it when I was younger, I'm glad he taught me all these things because it's good. It's
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling. Good makes me feel happy, and I'm saving some bucks too. So good stuff. Even Erin got taught how to, when she got her first car, how to change tires and do the kind of maintenance. Cars are so now. I look at a car now though. You lift the hood and I don't even know what I'm looking at. I had a '65 Ford Mustang. I could tune that puppy. I could do everything on it because it had an engine I could recognize. Stuff nowadays, I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, no clue.
Mm,
Anyway, well, we've been rolling, girl.
yeah.
So, you want to do this next Wednesday? Oh, no, wait a minute. Next Wednesday, that's the day before Thanksgiving. So now I'll have people here. We'll be making and cooking and doing all that stuff and having a little.
I'm not kidding. Let's plan to do an episode where she comes with us to Fashion Cult. I'll contact them, see if they want to do it. We'll plan a
Yeah,
day.
yeah, it'll be
I just
fun.
need to save up that money because she's from Raleigh, so
Okay.
she's not local. But she's very good, and she
You
edits
talk
for
about the
me as
video.
well.
You talk about the video people.
Yes, video
Oh,
person.
okay, okay, yeah. We,
She
I could.
documents and then she puts together a little 1 minute recap,
Mm-hmm.
which
Okay.
I find very useful and helpful,
Yeah, yeah.
and is way more valuable than the money that I'm paying for it, I think.
Hey, positive
Hey.
outlook. Always positive outlook. The best you can, anyway. Oh, all right. Sounds good, darling. Sounds good. I've enjoyed this. This
Yeah,
has been fun. We kind of been all over the map, but that's all right.
that's what I was expecting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did they say? Consistent. It was like consistency and spontaneity, kind of those two. Like a consistent
There we
spontaneity is
go. There we go.
consistent.
I'm pretty hard thinking about that 414 connection, though.
Oh my God.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we should
mess
talk
you
about it a
up.
lot. I
Well, you
took
know about
notes.
it.
I
Us
took
Taurus.
notes.
Very good. That's what
What
I
the
should have
fuck did
done.
we talk
Taken
about?
notes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Dolores
something.
Cannon. There's another female you need to look up. Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon. She's another one. She did hypno regressions with people, hypnotic regressions. And the thing she's come up, I don't know, like 45 years or something. She's another very fascinating one. So there's another gal for you.
Cool.
Bam.
Well, thank
All
you very
right.
much.
Oh yeah. Enjoyed it. Kept me from
I
a
love you a lot.
hangover. I love you too, honey. Sexy thing. I know. I'm
Yeah.
thinking that's just disgusting coming from an old woman, isn't it? Did you enjoy yourself? You got plans for the holidays? Gonna go have some fun?
Just gonna go to dinner with my parents. I'm trying to work more to fund my life.
Yeah, I hear that.
Hopefully. I have a big weekend coming up, so I'm gonna get a good chunk of change and then
Good.
maybe pick up some shifts at the local spots. But
Yeah. Good. Good for
yeah.
you. Busy is good. I'm
Yeah,
happier when I'm busy.
I like busy, but I also like to relax because now I have somebody that I'm consistently sleeping with, which I'm so happy about. Thank God. So that's more fun than anything, I think.
What are
That's
those
the work.
what are those perks of being a human?
That's the work that I'm doing.
Yeah, because girl, it is a job. Probably the hardest job you ever have in your life, I tell you what, buddy.
Oh my God, no, it's not. Anyway,
All right.
oh my God.
Oh
You
my
should
God.
come to bingo.
Yeah, I want to. I gotta get, like I said, I gotta get back soon. It's just I used to be in Wilmington every 2 weeks, man, when I had that house there. But once we sold that little house, I just don't have a place to really go. And who wants to
Yeah.
stay there? I did get an Airbnb last time I came into town, and that was nice. That was a lot of
I'm
fun.
trying to get a condo for my friend Lindsay.
Hmm.
I need to get my money more stabilized,
Yeah.
but I
No
don't
answer.
want to take out a loan. I don't want to be involved with the banks. I'm like, we can figure this out, right?
Yeah. Good luck.
So, I don't know.
Avoid lawyers. That's all I gotta say. Not disparaging the law profession.
No, there's a lot of bad bitches going into law now. I'm seeing them all
Hmm.
on threads.
Hmm. I know. It's been really nice. Of course, a lot of them were the first ones canned, right?
Well, there's just a lot of powerful women getting their law degrees and joining the force, which is so wonderful and helpful, and also
Yes.
seeing a lot of just good things in the world.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. God, it's an amazing, miraculous, beautiful place. Matter of fact, I
Right.
pulled that card today. I got miracles today when I was doing my poll. And I was like, whoa, this is sweet. We got an affirmation we're doing right and miracles. So it was great. It was a good one today. See?
Miracles happen
Miracles
once in a while
I
when
believe.
you believe. Miracles happen.
You got it, sister.
So, just to wrap this up, this has been Magic with Bobby Stout. Do you just go by Bobby or
Yeah, this is Bobby.
Magic with Bobby? And then Thursday night I have bingo. Oh, also Cucalora starts this weekend. They have stuff Thursday that I'm going to be going to. We're going to maybe hopefully get a grant for
Ooh.
hard work
Oh, wow, that'd be great.
so we can go to festivals, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Friday is Cucalora Silent Disco at Highwire,
Awesome.
and Saturday is the One Direction Silent Disco at Tap Yard.
Wow. You got a lot going on, girl.
So that's this weekend.
You want to know about my exciting weekend?
Sure. You gonna take a bath?
Well, I'm going to be cleaning house and going grocery shopping. Hmm.
I don't grocery shop. I
I'm
I
going to have
still,
I got a bunch of people coming, so I got to get my stuff together. I got to finish my damn bathroom too. I was like, why did I decide to remodel a bathroom right before a holiday when I'm going to have a house full of people that need to use a bathroom?
I remodeled our bathroom in LA before I think it was 4th of July. I don't, it's therapeutic. You're ripping out the girl. Let me tell you, I've had so many spiritual things happen to me in LA, which I'm sure you can imagine.
Oh yeah.
I have eons of stories from this house that I lived in. So we should go to that house and do. Oh, sorry. Anyway, in the bathroom, the man of the house had put tile over the floor, the sticky replacement tile, and it was those big black and white checkers, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
disgusting.
About to lose
Everybody
my.
said, this is a horrible design. Why would you pick this? This is such a easy Band-Aid solution. Lazy, boring,
Yeah.
cheap.
Hmm.
Without asking permission, me and my friend Phoenix just start ripping, but not only his flooring, because that was the plan, was just to buy new flooring and replace what he had done, and just fine. If you wanted new flooring, you should have asked what we would have wanted. Like, we would have picked it. And you picked something disgusting because you have no design eye, and I think you're colorblind. But that's okay. We start tearing out these because they're attaching to one another. There was like layers on layers of flooring. Through time, we were pulling these floors out to the beginning of when whoever made the house in the 70s.
Wow.
And like energy flying up and being expelled and like cleansed, and like I redid this whole bathroom with this amazing like mermaid. I think the original color was gold. I tried silver, but I really ended with gold, and it was like this dark green blue mermaid fantasy. And it was a tiny bathroom with a really deep tub, and the floor tiles that we got were these really blue and greenish and white kind of. I saw them at a coffee shop one time, and they were really bright and cheery, but also elegant and calming.
Yeah.
I put those down, and I painted that gold everywhere, and I got a curtain. I don't remember what curtain I got, but I just redesigned the bathroom. That was a fuck-ass nice bathroom, let me tell you.
Oh, I love doing stuff in houses. I just hope you didn't get now I know what's happened to you, girl. You got a snocker full of asbestos.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
No, if it was built in the 70s, it probably wasn't. But I was sitting there going, oh my God, because I did that in California too. And a house was built in the 30s, and we had to be so careful. That and the lead paint, I mean, that was all in those houses back in those days.
That's wild.
See, ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Jesus. But I want this condo because I would love to be able to paint and edit a space again because it's so therapeutic.
Yeah, and it just you make it your own. You put your stamp on it. I mean, it is. I realized the other day because it was.
If you don't let me get this house, I will take you with me, or whatever that quote from Beetlejuice is.
Get this house. Yeah, Beetlejuice. I love that. She's so good. One of my favorite. I love Catherine O'Hara. She's so awesome.
I know, I love her so much.
I do too. She's amazing.
Redheads are coming back. Redheads are on the rise.
I'm telling you. See, and I get to be the only non-redhead in my family. Well, no, my older sister's not a redhead. What was
I think
that?
a lot of us are redheads, but we dye our hair blonde. I think almost every blonde that exists, if it's a fake blonde, is actually a redhead.
Yeah, could be. I mean, see now, I was making my hair red, but this is my for real now.
People always tell me I look best as a blonde, and I think that's true. But I also disagree.
Because you're more a strawberry. You're like a strawberry blonde. That's
But I've been blonde for a long time, and it really has suited me for a long time. But I also think there is value in my natural hair color now. I used to not think that.
I did the same thing. That's what's happened to me because I've been dyeing my hair since the 1970s. And I finally now, at this point in juncture in time, went, you know what? I think I'll just be me. And so, but then of course I had been doing henna because I didn't want to use chemical dyes. And when you commit to henna, you are committed to henna. So I had to shave my head. I don't know if you saw that. I literally took a 4, did my whole damn head. But I loved my hair like that. I loved it so short.
I too. I'm
fabulous.
in the process of taking my eyebrows off because I like a bleached eyebrow, but that's too much work.
Yeah.
I'd rather just get rid of the eyebrow, and then when I want to draw it back on, I can just do that. But I'm drawing them on less now, so it's actually, I can do it now and not have it be like a hassle that I'm like constantly pretending I have eyebrows when I don't.
That's so 30s of you. So 1930s,
Well, what year is it?
That's what they all did. They took it all off and they painted them on.
Yeah, I almost got them tattooed on, and then I realized what I was asking for, and I was like, oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah, A friend of ours in Wilmington did mine, but that's because I overplucked so bad because when I was young, that was the whole thing. The 30s were huge, and everybody just the pencil thin line of eyebrows. And
Yep.
you know, you do that for decades, they don't grow back. So
I
I
kind of
was like,
want to. Ooh, I have red food dye. I wonder
hmm.
if that would work in my hair.
So does Kool-Aid.
Right?
Hmm. Yeah. I, I don't, well, yeah, food dye. It would do, I don't know how long that would, I would look into that before you do something though and find out it's gonna,
Oh, girl, I don't give a shit.
yeah, I was gonna say, you can, hair grows. That's what the thing I've
Hair
always thought,
grows
oh,
back.
okay, it'll grow. I can change it. What the heck? That's the fun part about hair.
What do I give a shit? I've shaved it before. I can shave it again. And so I'm not attached. I think there's a weird shame and attachment to our hair.
Oh, of course. You know, prefer, I, to me, I love it short. I'd rather have it short, but I get all the static, oh, you look this or you look that, you should have long hair. And yet women for centuries had to hide their hair. I mean, it's just like, what do you want from me? I'm just gonna be me and you can deal with it.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Interesting.
Hmm. All right, doll. What you got? Oh, interesting.
Redheads. Does the carpet match the drapes? Why don't you tell me? Bob, Bob.
Never.
You tell me. That's my cunnilingus. Death by cunnilingus. That's how they want to die. That's how they want to die. That's how they'll die. Eat it! Eat it! Thank you!
You're hilarious.
Oh my god. Okay. Imagine if this
Uh,
green person died on. Okay, that's too dark. Okay.
do a test strand. This is see
No.
my beauty school pays off. You do a test strand, sweetheart.
No, I'm just gonna. In my gloved hand.
Go
That's
for
how I
it.
always dye my hair.
Yeah.
I Vaseline so it doesn't stain, because this shit will stain.
Oh yeah.
But then I just use a glove and I just like put it on like shampoo. What's the point? Why do I have to put it on a brush? That's so extra work. Even having the glove is too much, but I can't get it all over my hand.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, my phone's gonna die and I want to dye my hair. So,
I
thank
was
you
gonna
so
say
much for
mine is
chatting.
too.
It's been
You're
a very long
welcome.
time. I have no, I have a doubt that anybody's gonna watch this all the way through, but if you did, and you can't
Well,
save it, all I can do is
kudos.
post it. So it's like, okay, can't edit it, can't download it. It's such a bummer.
Well, you have enjoy your day. I'm gonna go and probably get some lunch, maybe.
Yeah,
This is
eat
only one
food.
o'clock.
All right, I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too, doll. Bye.